I thought you had. That's what we're talking
welcome.
about, Wolf Sadler.
Welcome back to Day of the Damned. We won the war.
And
What about
apparently
second
Chip
war?
is still a virgin.
But what about Second War?
What about?
It is still the same war because no peace were declared.
I mean,
You just changed sides.
Did we change sides? Because I mean, I thought
No,
that we
we're
just
on
defeated
our
them and
side.
absorbed them.
Well, well,
we annexed them.
you annexed them, so they changed sides. I suppose is the correct term.
Technically, they're not
Yeah, but
annexed.
which would make it a second war.
A new monarch was chosen.
Vichy Compact.
Well, what I'm saying is, if we conquered them, that would still make it a new war, because if they switch sides, there's no war left, because they were the only one on their side. Therefore, it'd be a new war when we suddenly surprise attack the other army.
Oh my god! I just realized they are Italian in both senses.
Yes.
It would make more sense if we had another enemy. Prior to defeating them.
I hate this house.
We just really like.
Yeah,
war,
they're kind of
so
ass.
We're declaring a new one.
Motherfucker, you made him.
No, he didn't.
Made what?
The tiles were not made by Bright.
Tiles.
These are
Well, in
fucking
that case,
tabletop simulator
motherfucker, you
tiles.
edited and approved them.
I've had an approved your character too, and he's ass as well. So
Have you considered scaling them down by like 1%?
I have considered that, and I have decided that
No,
it's not
this
my
one.
fucking
This
problem.
one's just. Yeah, this one's just tilted. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with that one.
So damn, I have to fix the reverse again.
Actually, I'd recommend not doing these, just so we have a clear picture of what land you've taken.
All
By
of it.
force, I mean.
Ah, I see. Well, anyway,
Might be convenient to know later.
The
Maybe not.
synopsis made engage in diplomacy versus democracy, and diplomacy won. And
Score 1 for the good guys.
Yeah, score 1 for the good guys. Sabina engaged in diplomacy versus the compact and is now the ruler of the compact.
Score 1 for the bad guys.
Just because Carb benefits from this.
And the rest of the synopsis is that I think the last we left was Sabina leaving the council after the meeting was adjourned. And I believe everyone else would have been told that, hey, just go meet up in one army for a bit. Orders coming soon.
Well, anyway, because this has been Nathan's plan from the beginning, he's going to head off towards the enemy army.
Well, let's start with Chun because she's closest to the east. So Chun, you got some orders advising to move up with the other armies.
Yeah, sure. Let's move.
After a
Across
few
the bridge,
days of
or-
playing you have completed the bridge. Yes,
Okay.
the bridge was something you built. It looks shockingly like one of the siege towers just sort of upturned on a river.
Just knock
What?
the tower.
No.
It's
No. It's totally not a siege door. The sign next to
No,
it
no,
says so.
an ancient Hagian suspension bridge.
Can you feel it? The suspense.
If I was standing on it, I sure would.
Well, let's do George. much the same orders. I imagine you.
Yep. Gather
It's like an ancient game of Russian roulette. We're just waiting to be the person who the bridge falls under.
The
This
marches.
army is gonna move up to here. Aethif, what is your?
He's going to find the general of our allied army.
Formerly allied army?
They don't know that yet.
Well, it's gonna take you a day to get to there, but you can.
Excellent.
Let's just move you there. May,
See. No, I don't want the Arkanglians to realize that I'm not still on their side.
I'm pretty sure that hasn't been publicly disclosed yet.
Indeed, it hasn't been publicly disclosed yet. So I want them to be under the impression that that they can still bargain for something, or bargain for resources and Papa support and whatnot. So I'm just for now gonna sit tight, not let them know anything. Just give them an update on, actually, I don't need to update them now. I would have already given them an update after the election that stopped the Republic from taking over and whatever the plans for that. So yeah, until something happens, sit tight. What I will do is I will request funding from the capital to set up naval defenses in this city to and turn this into a trap in the future. Or no, I
Well,
will.
that one's currently under
will
the compact,
propose-
not compact Archanglia.
This city is under Arkanglian control. As far as Archanglia is aware, May is on their side. So, my plan for the future, my plan that I'm laying out here, is I will send communications indicating to them that I've still held control of this city and basically trying to get them to land their boats in this city and then destroy them on what they expect to be friendly territory.
well, you can send that letter off.
Yeah. Oh, I'll lay out that plan.
All right.
Well, Sabina's the last one who hasn't done a turn yet, I think.
Yeah. And like I said, she was just leaving the council room at the time. Well, that's last I remember.
Yep. So what are you doing?
I'm guessing no inquiries come her way afterwards. They're all pretty content with what she recommended for their future course.
For now, some personal inquiries have come about. The heads of the subcapital asking about your particular marriage situation, offering family members to throw at you to secure alliances.
I guess Sabina would say to recommend leave portraits and profiles here. She'll have to look into them. Set aside like an office or something for her.
Let's see what else would happen. The Grand Arcanist would inquire rather creepily, in your opinion, about whether you would be ever so kind to be a test subject. Virgulos has been, despite all of his help, refuses to be poked at by various magical sticks to find out what's gone wrong and or right with him.
As long as they don't disrupt the training with Opal, she will look into these experiments.
All right. That's about it for the personal inquiries.
It's going to be the Callisto blood, isn't it?
Your armies have gathered in front of the capital. Would look like a siege if you didn't know any better.
No, that's the effect we're looking for. Well, she still has like a whole day before everyone's fully put back together, right?
Yep.
Then she's gonna spend the remainder of the day in the capital with a roof over her head, studying and practicing. She sends invitations for events at a later date to several people in the compact. Well, several being few. Also, word for not a warrant. What would be what's the fucking word for getting the guy that's currently insane for Ganell removing any criminal charges from him?
Pardon?
Pardon, there we go.
Yes. Okay. Pardon can be achieved.
Pardon with an asterisk that he helped teach a new generation of communications officers.
It was just yesterday I learned that was Yosha.
What's the OSHA? And why are we not compliant?
Yo,
Probably.
shot compliant.
Indeed.
Anyways, with the capital being quote unquote taken, the communication network for the various cities has been reestablished. At least in the cities that you or Willen currently holds.
Well, can't really talk to anyone if everyone is dead.
Well, you have to send out people that know how to operate the system to
Yeah,
turn
but
on the towers.
can't be entirely sure that the Archanglians
Exactly.
haven't figured it out, so better not to.
Oh, do we find the guy who got away with the bomb?
Pretty certain he's dead.
That guy's very much dead. As for the research on the bomb, you haven't been invited to the capital yet to inquire about it,
Yep.
and you didn't ask for an invite. So,
Yeah. What?
as
Okay.
it stands, you're currently playing the part of a scarecrow.
Well, at some point they're gonna have to open the gates, aren't they? So.
Well, they're currently hoping to keep Archanglia thinking this is a siege as long as possible. So,
And
throwing open the whole gates for the army is unwise.
At which point Sabina is sending letters to the general saying that requesting their surrender is not going well.
You'll receive a letter in response asking if there's a need for a show of force.
Well, the Archanglian general would say that you should hold your ground because the people of Voltel are offering much fiercer support than expected, or much fiercer resistance than expected. If the compact was to sally an army from the capital, there's a good chance they would rout them.
Then we shall hold our ground to keep the capital at bay.
How wonderful it is to have reliable allies. Well, I'd say that's the rest of the day. Unless someone wants to do anything else.
I guess at the start of the next day, Sabina would ask if George is close enough to want to see his relatives.
Well, if you're able to look out at the George's army, you would very clearly see the man stood amongst the troops with his multiple arms and half-horse body.
Well, she's at the very center of the capital. She's not near the.
Yeah, she's not exactly capable of seeing you at the moment.
Well, she could go to the outer battlements, but it sounds like a chore when there's studying to do.
Yeah, you'd get a reply from George requesting entry.
Alright, well,
Granting entry is within your authority currently, and the council would advise to not let the entire army in, as for obvious reasons.
Send instructions for George to go under a envoy's banner.
Yeah, George will gather up mercenary captains who've agreed to help him out, and will set forth towards the gate holding the flag.
There we go about Will again.
You, what about the rest of your army? Do you want them to close in with the other force?
Yeah, it's a well, whoever. But my recommendation is might as well consolidate the entire army since it's a
Hagen forces.
One bridge.
The Hagen forces will not. Yeah, but the Hagen forces will not consolidate or not merge with your army on account of.
Will order the army to move further south and hold at siege.
All right. You, for your part, are afforded the luxury of traveling via one of the compact horses.
Yeah. Well, in that case, George will not have the Mantor half.
Due to your low animal handling, you feel that this animal doesn't like you, but it's well trained. It's well trained enough to ignore this.
No, I still want to imagine the Mantors just sitting on or standing on the saddle of the horse.
do a kickflip.
Like a mountain goat.
No, but George will
goats are cool.
Wave with his arms as he cradles the flag in one arm. Throwing it over himself like a cape.
Like an Olympian who just got a gold medal.
Spinning and
yes. Yes, like an Olympian that's just gotten the gold medal, just waving into the crowd of frightened onlookers as he enters.
Well, you are ushered in. Where do you want to go first?
Well, should really go straight to Sabina. At least make a show of, hello, I'm here. And then after that, well, George is going to fuck off to the Mega Forge.
You can certainly meet up with Sabina.
Hello, Sabina. It's been quite a while.
You would notice that she looks much different than she did. Than she did when she left the. She left your army. Very, very pale.
Pale,
skinny.
thinner-skinned.
She moves with less grace.
You should try sleeping and eating more. Some exercise would do you good.
Currently, I'm exercising my mind, trying to fill what was lost with Opal.
Well, from the looks of it, you're about to fall apart from doing that.
Do violence on George. Beat him.
She cannot hear the voices.
He's not. The thing is, he's not entirely wrong. You do look like that.
Do
I mean, it might be
violence on-
rude to say that, but
It doesn't matter if he's right or not. You just don't say that to people.
Sabina just
Beat him.
sighs and says, I suppose everything that I've been doing has just been so exciting, has drawn my attention away from going outside and imbibing the sunlight.
I see.
She
Well, at least at some
marks
point,
her
go on a walk and have some food.
she marks her page and the book she was reading, sets it aside, and then thinks for a moment. Starts pinning a letter. I suppose I shall find someone to accompany me on that.
Go on.
And what precisely do you have plans to do? And I was about to ostentatiously say my city.
Well, it's not yet. Well, I'm off to what I will hope to soon call my new toy box.
If you do
Want
meet
to see my descendants.
if you do meet Master Verculo in there, tell him I said hello. He's this 7-foot tall fellow. Wears a mask, has a green cloak.
I see. I'll pass along the message. Tell me, you didn't happen to find a man that was not actually a man, but a suit of armor, did you?
I haven't quite met everyone in the capital yet.
You haven't had any contact with the heroes for some reason. Though they ought to be in. They ought to be in the capital.
I'm pretty certain I know where the heroes are.
It's nice to have a
Outside the
in my
capital.
hand.
Yes, outside the capital in a little place called Bolatello.
Listen,
The spells in my hand.
Listen.
well, is there anything else you want to do, George, so we can wrap your turn up?
I suppose. Yeah, just going off to the forge is it now.
All right.
We'll sit down with the relatives.
You're welcomed by the relatives once again.
Are they in a better mood this time?
Yeah.
They are in much the same mood they were before. Despite all of this war, it hasn't really impacted their work.
Well, I said the next time I'd arrive would be with an army. Here I am.
Should have figured it was you somehow.
Was there ever any doubt? Or did you think someone had finally managed to put me back in my grave?
We try not to dwell on that.
Well, sadly for you, you're going to have to live with it. Now,
Wonderful family bonding.
you were working on some interesting stuff last time I was here. We were enemies then, we aren't now. The head of the family is even aware of my existence now. I did go home.
Oh, you went home. And they just let you?
What, were they supposed to bar the gates?
Show him the sword.
Oh, they're Empire stooges. I figured they'd try to kill you.
The blood, first and all. I built that home. The mausoleum was a new addition.
Oh, that creepy place.
You really should have more respect for your ancestors.
We've lost any respect we've had when we were kicked out of our home for wanting to make weapons.
Yes, on that, I sympathize with you. But you shouldn't lose all your respect. And George will at that point unsheath Gloamrender and hold it proudly.
They seem rather fascinated by the thing, eyeing it from different angles.
Crafted by my son's own hands, and refined over the course of my long death.
Black adamantite. Fascinating.
Yes. Sadly,
Would you mind if we examined it for a bit?
if you mean shave parts of it off and analyze the fragments, under no circumstances.
I doubt we'd have the tool to perform such analysis here, anyhow.
If you simply want to admire it, very well. And George will walk over to a workbench and lay it flat.
You see on the workbench different, what appear to be blueprints for a device.
What's this? At least
yes, we had to cancel some of our previous projects on account of your army bringing that new super weapon thing.
Oh, you like it, do you? I call it the Bertie. The burrowing Bertie, on account of its function.
Well, we've cracked it.
Yeah, I thought it would happen eventually. So that messenger who managed to steal it from me by removing one of my arms, he's dead, right?
We're not sure who got it off you.
No,
It was
never
deposited one day in our workshop without many opportunities to ask a question.
Tell me, how did you find the anti-tampering? Not enough effort went into it, in my opinion, but...
Excessive.
I thought it was lacking.
It's a bomb. It's meant to go
Exactly.
boom.
Yes, but if the enemy grabs it, you don't want to use it against you. Not that that's a concern anymore, anyway. What is this project?
Do you want to try looking at the blueprints, or are you just asking them?
Yep. No, he'll look at it while he asks.
Well, it's a countermeasure we've designed to them. What few field tests we've made seemed promising.
Oh, the trenches.
The trenches were an early test. We truthfully didn't expect them to work too well. No, this is this is gonna work.
What is it?
It's well, a siege defense weapon, as it were. It's meant to be able to detect the fluctuations in the Earth, able to remotely detonate any of the bombs before they reach their intended target.
Fascinating.
Well,
Although
seems the efforts
doing that too many times in a single defense. The nature of the bombs can lead to an area being not too fun afterwards.
Well, it seems all the effort we put in is pointless anyhow. The city was turned over without a fight.
Yes, a good thing too. You two are going to prove very valuable.
We already have. We're just working for new bosses now.
Yes, you'll be working for me. I've got a testing facility I call the Toy Box. It's where all the prototypes are developed, and where we've been creating the Berties. There's a whole village we've used to test. Don't worry, it was set up with the express purpose of being bombed and shelled. No one lives
We
there,
keep
no one
trying-
ever will.
See, we kept trying to get the higher-ups to authorize that, but they kept saying that it's pointless and a waste of resources.
It really isn't. It gives you a very good picture on the effects of a weapon. But that was where we found out that your idea of trenches was never going to work in the first place. They were designed specifically to counter that. Yes, you're going to have a lot of fun over there, testing out all sorts of things that you can come up with. And it seems here, George will gesture around
We-
the Megafort, a great place for mass production.
Wish we could join your little production facility, but we're busy running the forge.
Oh, bah. There'll be replacements for that, surely. If you can do the work of 10 men, and there's 2 of you, we'll simply get 30 and have them make up the difference.
Too many smiths in the forge.
Well, whatever orders we get from the council, we'll follow. Just we prefer not to leave the running of the forge to less competent hands.
Well, I'm sure something can be arranged. I'd like to get you over at the Toy Box to start experimenting with new ideas I've had. 30s weren't meant to be the be-all and end-all. The war simply kicked off too soon.
Would be great if we could get authorization to build a test facility near here.
Or
Well,
someone knows a person.
sadly, with the nature of the charges we've been using and all the weaponry, they won't be relocated, but inert projects, or things that don't require the same sort of detonation, should be possible. Don't see why it couldn't be moved down there. We'll all want to have a nice sit down with Sabina and then Kara pretty soon. So I'll leave you be for today and go see about arranging that in the coming days.
Well, back to work, I guess.
George will grab
They
a little
just-
render before he leaves.
They seem somewhat disappointed by that, but they don't push it.
Smart of them. Right,
Oh,
that's that.
That's George. Chun didn't ask for an invite to the city, so she's just sort of standing outside, right?
Mostly. She will walk over to Ostwin and ask what the fuck happened.
Long story. A lord of Mazaria whittled down our army to a few hundred men. It wasn't pretty. George had a bit of a fit about it.
Yeah, I can imagine. So that's the reason there are so many mercenaries here.
Yes.
Uh, well, win some, lose some, I guess.
Well, we certainly seem to have won, despite the setbacks. What about you? How was your tour of the coast?
She looks in dismay. I only fought a single battle.
Austin doesn't know how to respond to this.
She goes into great lengths to explaining the first city surrendered, basically. I had to send a letter to Carr, but they basically kept their status. The second city, well, we breached their walls, but after that they surrendered. Going to be Hagen Protectorate, actually. The second city attacked us with ships, but surrendered afterwards. At the fourth city, can you believe that? But Aether apparently killed the son of the Lord and told him that he should surrender if we show him that his other son is still alive. That took like 2 days of sending letters. Can you imagine that?
I wish I could imagine that.
Laughs athingly in the distance.
Poor Oswin got the worst of the fighting in the war.
Yeah. Well, at least we are going to have another battle.
You know what? I'm more than happy to let you lead the charge.
I'm pretty sure George is going to claim that honor. She walks over to her, pats her shoulder. I'm going to, I don't know, spend time with Carl or something. Better get ready for the charge, I guess. See ya.
See ya. She sort of pauses and says, announce yourself before entering their tent. I'm pretty sure they're violating some rules in the war room.
As far as I heard, those only apply in Archanglia.
Well, that ruling was popular, so we instituted it here.
L brought the rule about while Carr was gone to prevent suitors from exploiting such time.
Oh, but the rule is fine for Eldon.
The ruler is he who makes the exception, I'm afraid.
So wait, it doesn't matter anyway.
Anyway, who wants to go next? May or Aethith?
Mathef.
Ew.
No, I don't think May has much to do.
Then get that over with.
What are you doing in the city that's currently not yours?
Well, for now, I think my business in this city is wrapped up. I need. I think I will be making my way to this city to begin preparing to receive the Archanglians when they're tricked into arriving. But for now, I'll just be waiting in the. Actually, I can get there in 1 day. It doesn't matter. I'll continue my business in the city, working there.
Sorry, where are you expecting the Archanglians again?
Basically, I'm going to play like they're still on, like I'm still on their side, and invite them to land in this city, so that they can be.
Do they have more
And-
like offshore forces arriving? Is that what's going on?
That's the thought that they
you
will
would
browse
you would
forces
expect-
from their lands once.
I'm not sure if Aethith has paid much attention to that, but the rest of you
A lot
would
of it.
know that The rest of you would know that the Archanglians, this wasn't even half their force.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just that,
May will be working out the logistics of that, making requests or preparing to make requests of funding and supplies from the compact to fund it, and preparing to make that believable as possible. She'll request. Might see if I can request getting one of the snow globes to use, but perhaps it's unnecessary.
all right.
But yeah, it'll be preparing for that.
Who has them anyway?
I believe they're in the capital.
No, they're
Probably
with
Car?
Car's army.
They're currently with Gar's army, I believe, yeah. Anyway, Aethif, you arrive at the Archanglian forces. They seem, well, seems unnaturally hot around this part. And not to mention that there's, all of the Archanglian forces seem on edge.
Huh. So why are they on edge?
They've been edging for
can't
2 weeks.
you can't really tell, but the defensive lines seem, well, they have defensive lines at all set up. That's a weird thing to begin with, but they seem to be pointed towards the city.
Towards which city? Towards
Bolatella.
Bolatell?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So anyway, by the way, so Bolatell, the guys in there, they know. Do they know about the surrender or whatever you want to call it?
They would know by now.
Yeah, I assume that's how it works. Okay, cool. Anyway,
Yep.
excellent. Well,
So
this is
what do you do?
anyway. So Vilna approaches as a messenger.
Okay.
Thought they're gonna call.
Who do you
Raven
approach?
Freyer.
What was that part?
Who do you approach? Oh, no.
I was just wondering what Vern said. Well, anyway, I attempts to get in contact with their leadership to inform them of progress.
The city or the
No, the
Archanglian
army.
army?
The army.
All right. The general, you've met him before. It's the blue axolotl man,
Ah,
the axolotl grandpa, who bribed you.
the guy who, yeah, I remember him. He
Yeah.
ripped me off. Now it's personal.
Well, you have a report to make.
Well, hold on this thing. Knowing that it's the guy I already know, this skips an important step for me because I've already observed his behaviors.
Oh my god.
Well, anyway, let's see. I attempt to get in discussion with him privately.
As private as you can get is a war
like a
room with a
tent or
bunch of
whatever.
guards around. Yeah,
Yeah,
a war
what-
tent with a bunch of guards around.
Okay, good. All right, so from there, where was this plan going? I thought this all out, then forgot because it took a while.
We believe in you.
Ah, right. Yes. Anyway, I was going to inform him that I believe I might be able to force the city to surrender to you if you would assist me.
And how exactly do you plan on doing that?
Well, I just need a few of your elite troops to help me, and I believe we could sneak in and resolve this overnight.
We've attempted night raids before. What's left in Bolatello are armed men and soldiers on guard. they saw us coming last time. I don't intend on making the same mistake.
Ah, okay. If you would permit it, I would like to observe this this situation for a while.
You're welcome to. Do be wary. They enjoy launching raids occasionally.
All right. Well, she integrates herself into the army as a friendly observer.
The army,
I'll be back in a minute.
the army's on edge, like I've mentioned before. But they seem to be operating regardless.
I mean,
Yes.
they've been in heat for what, the past 2 weeks?
And that is an awful way of putting that.
Look, you said that they were in heat and this they were edging.
No, it's hot. No, it's uncharacteristically hot where it was. Not that they were in
Yes,
heat.
yes.
Just the
Yes, just that they
screaming
were
all
ending-
night, every night, clawing at the windows.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Anything specific you want to observe, watch out for, etc.?
I want to observe when the best possible time to assassinate him takes place.
Well, I suppose you're gonna take the rest of the day to just observe his routine, right?
Well, basically, ideally, I would figure out, what circumstances, during the night I could simply, do my stealthy thing of stealth sneaking my way in to his tent, if possible. Because I would like to be completely unseen on my way in, at least.
He has 7 guards to his bed.
Well, I'm sure he has some guards, but
Uh,
how thorough is the guarding is another question.
As night approaches and you're still within the camp, you hear watching the general. You hear an alarm horn blare, and instead of just the one sunset, there seems to be orange in the sky everywhere.
Uh-huh. Alright, I'm listening.
The general moves forward to the place where the battle lines were set up, or the defensive lines rather.
Yes.
And if you're following him, you would see that this army has been surrounded by a wall of flame. Might
The army
explain
I'm in. Nice.
yes, might
Okay.
explain
I was
the
thinking about that. I was
unnatural
thinking-
heat.
I was wondering what the hell the evil demiurge in the sky was up to. Alright.
Nope.
No,
It
that's
is,
it's another demiurge, the flames of Gehenna.
Wait, if it's another demiurge, would that just make it an urge?
it's a full urge,
Anyway.
or maybe it's half of a urge, so it's a quarter urge.
I'm just sorry. You're really
right.
just making all of the euphemisms and phrasings here. It's like heat and edging and urges and look.
Yes. They're in heat
But,
because of the urge. Or the
soon
urge
en-
because of the heat.
Soon enough, the Arkaine or the battle lines are crashed against by well, I'm pretty sure he would be familiar to Aethith, as I believe you faced him during the tournament, or at least you watched him being faced during the tournament.
Uh-huh.
A man who seems to be made out of or made into a suit of metal almost single-handedly punches through the Archanglian battle lines.
I've got it. I finally have a use for something. that I've had since literally the beginning of the campaign, practically early season 1.
Oh.
Okay.
The best possible.
I assume you just hide in the carnage.
Kind of. I'm waiting for the general to be vulnerable.
So you're stalking during the carnage. Yes, that would
the
be
general-
the correct term, as in stalking prey.
Yeah, yes. The general is busy organizing his battle lines, which were once only forward facing, to face both directions, as the Arcane or the compact heroes seemingly without much issue punched through the battle lines.
The general's
I mean, they
going to learn
gave
the
us
mistake
trouble,
of fighting
so-
a two-front war.
So right as that's happening, I am going to use an item I've had saved for a really long time
Okay.
and kind of forgot about. Smoke bomb.
So you sneak up to the general and you smoke bomb.
To be more specific, yes. Anyway, yes. I smoke bomb and assassinate.
Give me a roll. Specifically the assassinate roll.
Yes.
Let me clear the dice from the table just so it's
My
Oh,
die.
roll it again.
Midair. Anyway,
ooh.
god damn it.
Use a
The
finesse
other one is
die.
coming.
Well,
Oh, wait, go ahead. No, I don't have that. Finesse die, right. I forgot
Yeah,
about
yeah,
that.
finesse dice.
that'd just be a +1 from here, which wouldn't do much, I don't think.
Oh, okay.
But you stab the general, but he doesn't go down.
With both
He
swords.
screams for help.
With both
Well,
offset
he-
swords. Oh, this is even better. Okay. All right. Well, yes, I will use the multi-attack as the smoke spreads.
All right, roll it again. This one he gets to defend against because it's
Jesus.
Jesus.
wow,
God damn it,
you
you
are
have to
just
leave my die
rolling
midair.
ass.
So is
He's
he.
rolling worse though. So you do successfully finish him off because apparently no one can roll well today.
T-posing.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the smoke. I am taking advantage of this to the fullest. I am going to escape with his body as fast as I possibly can.
All right. The smoke provides you quite a bit of cover, but you are surrounded by men from all sides. Give me a stealth roll. Carrying a body, I'd say he's not a big body, so I'd give you a -2 for your total stealth roll, or rather, -2. Roll stealth, and then detract it. Is what I'm trying to say.
7. Ah,
holy
let's
fuck.
see. I'm just gonna
finesse die this time. Finesse die this time. Would that help?
finesse.
Or would that not help
Yes. Well,
Oh my
it
God.
wouldn't help because they
Okay.
can't see shit.
Okay. All right. I'm not gonna question this.
It's a cavalcade of errors on both sides.
Yes.
Doesn't need this favor.
It appears so.
Aethif, I assume you're using your cloak of invisibility to make any of this possible, but you sneak away with the general's body.
Yep.
To what end?
Well,
And where exactly you're attempting to sneak off to? Because
the important part is that I can dispose of his. That I get the chance to, away from people, completely destroy his body to whatever degree I can, and also take his clothing.
right, that wouldn't be too difficult in the midst of all this chaos. But you can't move too far away from the camp on account of the walls of fire.
Well, the walls of fire might make disposing of his body pretty easy after I've
True.
taken his stuff.
You could just take his stuff and kick him in, I guess.
Yes. And
So you do this?
yes.
How many cookies can a compact wall fire?
It is. It is among the most disgusting smells
How
you
long
ever
do you have?
smelt.
And then he throws him in the fire.
No, after he throws him in the fire. He has smelled many dead people.
Has Atif only just realized that he doesn't wash his clothes after his murders?
I'm pretty sure he would wash his stuff because it would give him it would give him a negative to his stealth if he could be smelled.
But the blood is the prestige skin he gets for killing so many people.
Oh, I see. Just transmog. Okay.
Oh, is that
It's
why
like a
George
medieval
is red?
surgeon.
Do you know what? An amulet
so it's
of
been
transmography
Yes,
would be.
the chaos
pretty
coat rack
fun.
is like the surgeon's bloody smock to show off how
That's what-
good he
So
is.
okay, hold on. So you're saying that he wears black clothing, but they started off white? Anyways, you
Yes.
disposed of him.
Once the battle settles, because they've been saying this happens night after night, so I'm assuming this battle will resolve. But anyway, I'm gonna watch for that.
Without the general there to direct the army, the lines take more of a beating than expected.
Okay, that's a plus.
But the compact forces retreat, blocking their exit with a wall of ice.
Holding the head of what just some enemy or well, okay, by enemy I mean
Located
Not-
corpse.
yes. Anyway, as the general, I come back declaring my victory over the assassin, being this random guy whose head I took, and say we have repelled them again.
Give me a speech, I guess.
Okay.
Nigger really just skeleton. They lived.
The living in the army are happy to see you've survived, but the losses are great.
What about the dead?
Well, the dead don't exactly seem too happy about anything currently.
They don't seem sad either, though.
I mean, that's a skill issue on their part. We're pretty happy.
That is
Anyway,
true.
I order the army to immediately rally, and we are retreating.
Retreating, huh?
Yes, sir.
We're retreating. We have a chance to end this war now. We don't need the city. Follow me.
All right. They will take some time to get the army ready to march, but
this is under double time orders. He's saying just fast as we can.
Yep, it will still take some
time, but I'm explicitly
for
not giving them time to rest.
For today, you've done everything you could, I think, just given the time.
Okay, anyway, to explain what I am doing, I am going to, as fast as possible, demand that, I'm not letting them rest, demand a double time march to join the siege on the capital.
A great way to get hit in the ass from Baltella. But you are the general, so they're not going to question it.
Yeah, Bolatello just pulled back anyway, so anyway, we're going to be retreating, like I said, double time.
Well, that's 8th of stay, and with that, I'm going to take a quick break, because I need to go do something. Sorry about that.
Oh, and I also have to pee.
I will AFK screen us all. And we're back, and no other topics are being had here. Yes.
Come.
Well, that leaves Sabina with her turn.
Yeah, with
I guess.
her easily more peaceful day than Aethys.
She sent a letter to the Opolar she's flirting with, and asked for a tour around her new city. If
Yep,
I've gathered correctly.
Yep, she's taking George's advice and going outside, but she's not doing it alone because she's
George will
not a
accompany.
beta.
If you're doing this like the next day, George will accompany you as bodyguard.
Damn,
Cockblocker.
accompanying her on a date as a bodyguard, huh?
Ew.
Sabina
what's the-
taking
Well, if it's
her.
a date, he'll keep his distance.
What's the
so
female
stalking.
version for cockblocker?
They just see every time they turn around, they just see this red skeleton man following them. It's like a they live,
they live.
or not they live. It follows. It follows. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, but George. Here's the difference. George isn't gained via sex.
Jordan is following around with the full plate mail armor, but he has a newspaper.
No, the cloak's pulled over and he's replaced the padding. Like he doesn't rattle anymore.
No.
Yeah, but he's no fun when he doesn't rattle.
He still has the comically sized newspaper whenever they turn their heads.
Yeah, sure, with two eye cutouts as well that don't line up at all with his visor. Like where he holds it, it looks like he's looking through the mouth grill.
Yep. So
What exactly are you? You're given a tour of the city, which I will not swap the map for because I don't want to rebuild this
It's
map.
fine.
no problem. So Sabina will have a tour of all the districts of the city, any interesting sites, not just places of production and where city stats are, but whatever Danielle knows about the people here, the culture, the environment.
Well, the city was built around the Mega Forge first and foremost. The reason the Mega Forge was built here is because the only mine they could use to gather the metal or gather high quality adamantium is here. It's in one of the districts that Danielle doesn't. Danielle recommends avoiding that district because it's mostly labor, not much to see there.
I will tour it at some point in time, maybe after the.
Is adamantium available for
over.
purchase there?
They have very few. They don't have a lot of it. You'd probably be able to sell yours more than you'd be able to purchase theirs.
I'm not selling my arms.
No, not your arms, but the other stuff that you gained.
Good, because I don't have any plural. Only one of those is anymore.
Anyways,
Look, if you
talk
wanna
about
make,
arms aside.
Look, if you want to make 20K in a day, sell your body.
That's one way to say it.
And on this episode, George Brady sells his body.
It's the
Plays Always Sunny in
music.
Philadelphia.
Dude, George becomes a prostitute.
Well, we didn't say that.
Look, right? It's you guys don't understand how many times I've been tempted to just say, "Fuck it," and forge one of the arms into a sword.
You wouldn't get much from it.
No, however, if I were to instead do it to both the legs, and then one of the arms, you know,
He would have to learn to balance first.
General Grievous it.
Anyway,
All right, so what's her next recommendation, if not the industrial center of the compact?
what is there to see that's nice? the residential districts have some nice places to get some food, do some shopping, etc.
No, she'll follow Danielle's recommendation. And just tour about the city with her.
Well, the day passes rather quickly as you tour about with your companion, George following you. How many feet
At
back?
a respectful,
A respectful 5 feet.
no, 15 feet.
Have they invented sandwiches that include cooked ground meat between two buns yet?
You can.
No, but George is no stranger to putting. No, never mind.
You can feel and hear George's breath on the back of your neck, even though you're pretty sure he doesn't need to breathe.
But he doesn't breathe. Actually, it's not even need to. He just doesn't.
You can feel his breath on the back of your neck, and when you think those thoughts, he pulls out glasses from his armor and pushes them up to his visor and says, I don't breathe."
No. He actually just says, you're slowing down, right?
You swear he touched your hair at one point?
You should really
How does a man who
moisturize.
does
This looks free.
how does a man who doesn't need to breathe smell someone?
Easily, actually. I have all the
True.
all the senses. I just don't have half the desires.
But
Or any of the flesh desires anyway.
you spend the day enjoying yourself
Yep.
during the
And
city,
stalking them.
attempting to avoid, attempting to ignore George.
Come along.
No, they're busy. They have a job to do.
Okay. Well, I'm doing mine. I'm keeping them alive.
In a safe city.
It's not. Firstly.
I suppose
I
they could try to
mean-
kill her.
Yeah, and they failed.
What exactly would they gain from that?
I don't know. They're retards. What do you expect?
Well, you tour most of the important areas, anyhow.
Enjoy soaking some of the sun, enjoying human company every now and then that doesn't involve planning out bloodshed. And I guess in the recent changes, doesn't involve asking a bunch of academic questions. Frees up her mind. And
Oh,
I guess
What a relaxing day, despite George being there.
Yeah.
You got enough practice
You know
dealing
what?
with
Actually, hang
enemies
on.
and being freaked out, being near
Hang on, let me check something.
the other guy that you went to the city with.
Let me just. What the fuck? Okay. Alright.
What?
Here's a stealth roll that George is going to try and do.
Clang, clang, clang.
He stands out like a red skeleton,
You walk
but not
inside
actually a red.
bookstore
But not actually
at
a
one
red
point.
skeleton.
You walk inside a bookstore at one point. George comes in a few seconds later and just takes the visor up to just wipe his face.
He has the Groucho Marx glasses.
Why does hold on? Why does he have to wipe his face?
Well, because he was going to, he was trying to drink something nonchalantly on the street, but didn't think it through.
All right.
Well-
let's say towards the end of the day, let's have Sabina perform her own stealth check where she pulls pulls Danielle aside and tries to just escape her stalker.
Stalker. Security.
Bodyguard.
bitch.
I mean, nobody asked you to, but at least
If she just
you're doing it
says
for the
to
right
George,
reasons.
Can you just leave us alone for a bit? He would.
It's fun. It's funner this way.
Alright, George thinks he's doing a
Nope.
good job just keeping you alive so that he can get stuff.
Ah,
on
George,
file later.
George, do a perception.
Sure. I've got nothing to that. Nope.
All right, you.
What?
They slip
Where
their
do they go?
fingers.
Yeah, they turn around a corner. You follow, and you don't see a trace of either of them. Not even girlish laughing as they dash through the streets.
Maybe George will go up to a few guards and just ask if they've seen, give a description of Sabina and the man she was with.
I mean, yeah, we see them most days in the council.
I mean, around town. I was meant to be providing security for them.
I mean, they live.
Ran off.
I mean, they live here.
He doesn't live here. What do you want about?
Well, Danielle does, and Sabina has been a guest here
What-
for almost a week now.
Oh, I know what's happened. She's trying to improve international relations. Where does he live?
Where does he
Hmm.
live?
Oh, please, I'm not going to do anything. I'll just wait outside the gate till they're done.
You're really not helping. Slender.
It does not matter. It is great. Listen, it's fantastic. So
Well,
George
he's looking after her.
George finds the estate where Danielle lives,
I
and sort of
imagine
just
he's got like fence and gate.
posts himself out
Alright.
front. The
Yep.
butlers keep asking you what you're doing here.
So I'm just waiting for Sabina. Say, have you got any books inside about metallurgy?
Sir, we'd not accept beggars here. Please leave.
What
Beggars for literature.
What man? What beggar is wearing a full set of plate armor
Look,
and has
look,
two swords?
Invader. The compact is a high trust society.
What sort of beggar has full plate armor, 3 swords, an axe at his belt, and 4 arms?
The type begging for work, sir.
Most people have four
I
arms.
have work.
Then why aren't you doing it? Shoo, shoo.
Is it what time of day is it? Is it like evening, afternoon?
It'd be afternoon by now because they spent most of the
Alright.
day in the city.
Now you listen here. I'm. Do you know what? No, never mind. Look, it's Sabina here, Callisto.
Would Sabina have gone back to Danielle's place or back to the place she temporarily
Here's where
calls
we
her own?
cut to Sabina and her boyfriend.
I think she would have asked to go see the battlements for the sunset.
Damn, romantic, and also meaning she's not there.
Just looking at the army outside.
Well, the sunset.
Very romantic.
Oh, I guess.
It's slightly
I guess there
treacherous.
is Osmond's army out in the west.
There's also a decent amount of grassland between any place the army could actually be and
Yeah.
the battlements.
Not to mention
So you could
moats
see them like
settlements.
tiny. You can see them like tiny figurine men out in the distance.
Hey, I can see my soldiers from here.
Fuck! How the fuck did George get to here?
No. He's still trying to track her down.
Well, the butlers do not know when where she is.
Ugh, I'll just get walking then.
Search around the entire city for two girls.
Well, no, at some point he'd just give up and just go to the forge. Start harassing them.
Harassing them while they're doing work.
I'm somewhat impressed that Birdie managed to stalk Sabina and Danielle for most of the day and not realize that Danielle was a woman.
He's lost those desires. He doesn't care.
Well, the day draws to a close for Sabina as she and Danielle watch the sunset on the battlements.
And Sabina thanks her for the experience, and how would she?
Fade to black, please. We don't need.
Well, it's a question whether anything happens currently.
Yeah.
I will say the sight of the army does sort of kill the mood a little, even if the sunset is nice.
Wow, what a pussy.
I think she was a wolf girl, actually.
Wow, what a bitch!
What a bitch.
No, I don't.
Jinx.
Well, Sabina noticing this, thanks her for the accompaniment, hoping that they can have
Opening.
Opening. You said word wrong. Funny.
Yep.
What are you
Hoping they can have more peaceful exchanges like this in the future. Kissing the back of Danielle's head.
Damn. Speed check?
Yay.
Extremely. But speed check.
What's that?
Damn. Mid-roll for you, but damn.
Still mid-roll, but still damn.
Yep.
That's
Do you really
Danielle
think
will,
Sabina's game is weak?
Actually, Sabina's game is like stronger than most people's game can ever be at any time in existence. She's just incredibly picky about who she goes after.
I will preemptively
her game is
apologize
Black Indian.
for this
Yeah, and her
old
type
brain
is
rot,
cheating women.
but damn, Danielle, look at those white veins.
Kill yourself.
Oh god, Hayden
Well,
is going to be a bit annoyed.
Pearly gates will not open for you, Ed.
That's okay.
Danielle will blush. Thank you, and say that maybe next time you could have a tea party at her estate instead. The city's nice and all, but all this walking is it's hard on the legs. It's a big city.
It's a nice change of pace, but I will accept your invitation. Tomorrow, then?
With that, you part ways, and as Sabina's walking back to her place, she sees George.
Oh, there you are. Been looking for you all day.
Her tail is wagging.
Her tail doesn't wag anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
She broke her tail.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
The muscles to control it still exist, yes?
Yes, but the
instinct
brain
controls
that would
not.
the brain that would swing the tail when she's happy do not.
Regeneration spell will take care of it.
It will not.
It was a refreshing outing.
Intentionally relearned behavior.
Thank you for the advice.
Well, if you
George.
wanted alone time, you could have just said.
I believe you would be having fun with your relatives.
They're too busy looking after the place. Although,
Yeah. Unlike some people, they have to
some of the
fucking
designs
work.
are moved over there.
Now, unlike
It was
some
saying
people,
that
they
they
actually have
were-
to work. Is that more of a rub at George, or is that a rub at Sabina, who has spent the entire day on?
Neither of you, neither of you are working.
Alright, well, technically George is.
I suppose if George counts bodyguarding Sabina as his duty, then yes, George is
Yeah.
working, and Sabina's being lazy.
Well, Sabina was doing her duty, figuring out her new people through the lens
Uh-huh.
of a Kudere.
I see.
Damn, which of my new people do I want to smash?
Well, just try not to break any more weddings, okay?
Damn,
Oh,
fucking that.
The
Then
Damn.
the air about her is thick with magic for a moment.
George notices, and you see his hand grip to a sword hilt.
Explosion!
Sabina, we both know it won't work either way. I'm talking about fighting. I don't care what you do with them. I really couldn't care less.
Be reasonable and do not bring that up in front of me again.
Bring what up? Oh, your incredible social ineptitude. Sure.
It was John's fault, too.
Sabina
Anyway.
Sabina has enough
I
honor.
want you to come. I want you to come and have a sit down with my descendants now. Actually, you'll be interested in some of their ideas. And that'll be it.
She looks at the skyline, seeing the stars out, and then says, "Are they still up at this hour?"
Oh, right. Not sleeping or resting does one with your perception of time. I'll get you in the morning.
Please do.
Two of their days, and Chun, what are you doing?
Hmm. Honestly, she doesn't really have anything to. So she will just chill with Car.
She doesn't
If he
want
has
to go
time.
off and get herself a wall wife.
No, that was
Warwives were forbidden
explicit-
to her.
Explicitly
Yeah.
forbidden, yeah.
Oh, I see. No, not even a
Shut-
temporary one. Okay. Yeah.
Well, Car seems in a rather decent spirit. What do you do with Car for most of the day?
She's going to talk to him and ask if Sabina has mentioned anything more specific about the new arrangement. The only thing she has really heard is war's over. We are fighting for the compact. Archanglia is the enemy. And she got a new city.
Car would definitely trust Chun enough to tell her the whole thing. Apparently, Sabina managed to do some diplomatic magic, and whether literally or not, he isn't sure, but it turned out that they are willing to accept the deal wherein Sabina ends up leading the compact as a protectorate of Willand.
How nice for them.
Provided, of course, we push the Archanglians out.
Yes. How much of the fleet does the compact have left?
Their fleet wasn't too damaged. You hadn't faced them in naval combat.
I
But-
only sunk like 3 ships or something like that.
Yeah,
It's-
but as far as Car knows, it's still worse than Arkanglia's.
Hmm.
God, their country's made of mostly coastline, and their navy's still worse than Arkanglia's.
Well, Archanglia is made of 2 islands, of course it is.
I mean,
3 islands,
being
but
an
you know.
island nation does preclude one to conquering the world. That is true.
Yeah.
They were stuck on one continent that is the equivalent of Italy. I don't
Well,
think there's.
the Italians
I don't
at
think
one
that
point had a
island
good
nation.
navy.
I don't think that island nation parallel quite meshes.
Look, again, at one point, the Italians had a navy. I
Yes,
won't say
until
who
they met the
destroyed it.
British Navy.
Okay, well, I wasn't going to say the quiet part out loud.
Yes, but I'm going to.
Well, I'm pretty certain this entire time the Archanglians were fighting the Compact over control of this water,
Yes.
as well as the land.
And Archanglians had a foothold for as long as anyone can remember because they had a better navy. And this isn't...
If I had a penny for every time a navy encountered the British Navy and there just wasn't a navy anymore, I'd have quite a bit of money.
Real shame no one will pay you for that.
Yeah, sure, because
Fucking
you
is.
didn't destroy the
Also-
Imperial Navy. That was the.
Also, I'm
Germany.
pretty sure. Also, I'm pretty sure it would be difficult to have even a pound. Certainly not a tenner.
Look,
Not
I don't
that
care
many,
how many times you want to get pounded, alright?
Well, look, I had to speak in fucking bong for the British man here. I wasn't sure you'd understand if I.
You have to translate.
You really promoting transing? Wow. Fucking nigger.
Anyway, enough of this. Chun was having a great time with Carr.
Learning about how
chatting
rules
about
this land with the new war.
Yeah, getting embarrassing stories from Sabina's childhood.
He doesn't have
How would
those.
John know?
For some reason he has a photo album of Sabina when she was a kid.
We don't even have photos.
It's Kazak's
apparent-
He's also getting a lesson.
Apparently Aura sent those over. Not sure why.
All the Aura photos have been cut out of this one for some reason. It's just
Look,
Sabina
there's a separate
standing by herself in the photos.
Yep. Well, those two reminisce about old times, and I don't think they're gonna do much. May.
Nothing's kicked off with the Archanglians yet. I suppose I would have
Nope.
sent just a generic status, keeping in touch basically to the general, who will now end up in Aethos' hands. Yeah, just holding vision. Actually, I do have a request. I want to see if I can. I want to request. Well, first I'll put forward the plan that I will take one of the snow globes, preferably the blizzard one, and arrange to sell it to an Arkanglian fleet as it's still en route. The snow globe will be equipped with a covert device that I believe Bertie or his relatives would be excellently capable of manufacturing to shatter it and destroy the fleet before it reaches the shores.
Well, your plan is
I'll
sent off.
lay out that plan, send it to the person that has the snow globes in their hands.
George.
Carr holding two globes
Carr.
in his hands.
Also, what exactly would the effect be on a what's a procession of ships called again? A fleet.
A
whatever.
fleet?
Fleet?
Fleet.
Yeah.
Or flotilla.
A flotilla, which had
Maybe Armada.
the blizzard.
Nah, it's not that
blizzard.
impressive.
Snow
It's
globes
a
go off
group.
in the
Actually, it's a group.
That is one size.
Battle group?
Now, depending on who who captains those ships, it may be a school of ships.
Well, no, hang on. If it's a Willand, it's a wolf pack, right?
No, it's a school if it's Welland because the mermaids.
Ah, I see.
Fucking mermaids.
What exactly would
I
the
would.
effect
I
of
would.
that going off in the middle of a flotilla be? Would it
It would
immediately
be the
kill
removal
everyone
of the
on board?
flotilla.
Or
Yeah, the blizzard
like,
going off
is it
would
cold enough that
fucking...
everyone in it would immediately freeze to death?
Okay. Imagine putting wooden ships in Antarctica in like a split second. That's what the blizzard would do.
Yeah.
So the people would have some time to survive, but they wouldn't have very much of it.
Sometimes
They
What
wouldn't
the
have
fuck would they survive on?
No, they wouldn't. Unless they're
They
like
would-
within a mile of shore, they're fucked.
They would survive on icebergs while they succumb.
No,
They'd
the
fucking
absolute
freeze to
shit.
death.
I was gonna say
Yes,
the absolute shock
yes.
of the temperature dramatically dropping would be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They would survive for
Not
minutes
to
to hours,
mention...
potentially, while they freeze to death.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that they probably didn't sail from Archanglia to the compact packing their winter gear.
Exactly.
Yeah, they've obviously not got winter boots, okay? The offensive is going to fail.
The boots
But-
without the fur.
But the question is, how many ships would be landing in Zenova?
I don't know.
Would they even land there?
Well, that may ask for them to.
Crown
Yeah,
is
makes sense.
delicious, by the
Well,
way.
May hasn't done anything yet, but that is the plan to
Yeah, ask Aethys. Crab.
to arrange to arrange for the Archanglians to use that. But
Well, the general you were gonna attempt to coax into doing that is currently what's the term? Aethif?
Aethif.
yes, so Aethys will have received just a generic status update, acting as if May doesn't know anything.
Yep.
And just
Because she doesn't.
whatever. She does know.
I'm pretty sure she was told.
What she told
Yes.
about Aethif happening, though.
Oh
No,
no,
not
May doesn't
Aethif.
know about
No.
Aethif, but she obviously knows about that.
No one does.
Arrange the cities, but yeah, no, she's forwarding the plans that she's working on, and
God, you are so fortunate that Aethif isn't working against you.
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
Yeah.
to both, actually.
Anyhow,
And on that bombshell,
Aethif.
Alright.
You are leading your army double time towards the other army.
Yes.
They make it to about here before being attacked by a Sally from Bolatello.
How would you say the strengths of the armies are?
With the latest defeat, you're not sure how many men are in Bolatello, but the force they sent out is about half the size. But it doesn't really seem to matter because they're kicking ass regardless.
Tell them to fight to the
Alright.
bitter end.
are they
see-
kicking
no,
gun and
see-
chewing ass?
Seeing what's happening, he says he calls out for retreat.
It's difficult to retreat with the walls of fire which have been erected again.
Oh, okay, the walls of fire called up. Alright. Well, look.
Stand as close together as possible in formations without your shields and rush into melee.
He gets ready to make a pre-battle speech.
Vision is based off movement.
So he does the thing where he stands in front of the army for a pre-battle
Mhm.
speech.
Ah, yes, medieval
looks-
2 AI.
Okay, now excuse me. I need to do my speech. He looks down, sighs, shrugs his shoulders. It's over, men. We have
Every
lost
man
in
for
our
himself.
we have lost, and our deaths will be meaningless.
Morale.
He then slits his own throat.
Jesus Christ.
Give me a fucking performance check for that one.
Excellent, because I have a plus. Performance. Damn it! I was thinking of
You have
sorry,
speech, but that is
I was thinking of disguise. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see: disguise, perception, speech, stealth, trickery. Not
I
trickery.
think you have 0 in
This is very
performance.
much a trick, but all right.
Trickery is
alright, fine.
more the lock-picking, sneaking type of trickery, not the
Okay, fine. Anyway,
slitting my own throat in public in broad daylight.
Yeah.
The
Oh
morale
my
of the
God.
army breaks. Something you didn't expect to happen happens, however. As you're busy fake slitting your throat, you feel a very real pain as a flying armored knee takes you directly in the chest and flies off with you.
Even better.
Suicide interrupted.
No. Well, so you're saying, but I was slitting the throat when that happened, right?
Yes,
So that
they
just makes it better.
did see you, and then they just saw you get fucking stomped in.
After announcing that our deaths will be in vain. All right, beautiful. All right,
That actually just makes it so much better.
yeah, pretty much.
Now he just needs to have the eminence and shadow thing where he spits out blood in a perfect spiral.
Maybe if you learned how to do that.
The mob foo.
But it wasn't gentle, Denis, by the way. That really fucking hurt.
That's fine.
And you hear the sounds of your men being slaughtered. Well, they're not your men, are they?
V-men.
All right. Well,
And
anyway,
you're being carried away back towards Bolatella.
well, around the Anyway, let's just say once I'm out of the range, out of view of the other. No, hold on. You said I've met the knee guy before, right?
Yes.
Marcus.
Well,
I think you
you know,
fought
anyway,
him.
I'll just anyway, screw it. I'll just keep waiting for seeing what happens when they carry me there.
Well, you're being carried off. Once you're past the wall of fire, which the guy just sort of runs through, not giving a shit.
Nice. Oh, okay. Once we're on the other side of that, I request to speak to the leader.
Fake blood dripping from
he's-
his throat.
I no longer act hurt. I just ask. I request to speak to the leader.
He sort of slows down, examines you a bit. Aren't you a little tall to be a 500-year-old axolotl?
Haha! Why? Yes, I am. He rips off his face.
Such a
Hey, you're not.
psycho.
And laughs in a maniacal skeleton fashion.
Mars is tad startled by this, but he doesn't drop you.
Well,
Wait,
anyway,
you're that Willand kid, the one palling around with the king.
yes, the one and only Aethith the Great. Anyway, enjoy the victory I just gave you. I'm gonna be heading back. Let him.
He struggles in the grasp. Marcus is still holding on to him.
I mean, I'm willing
He
to
is-
do a debriefing. if you need.
Yeah, he's still holding on to you and says, "I'm gonna need to bring something back."
All right, yeah, that's fine. Oh, You know, I just had an idea that might help with the battle. If you wouldn't mind taking me back in, he puts the mask back on.
Seems a bit late now.
Oh, did we already win?
Well, it's not that you already won, but your men sort of saw you get fucking abducted mid-suicide.
Yes. Well, now just imagine how they'd react if I started fighting alongside you.
Jesus
He
Christ.
grins axolotly.
Holy fuck, dude.
There's something wrong with you. He just sort of says and starts carrying you back to the city.
Can you say high functioning psychopath?
His allies wouldn't let him carry it out.
At this rate, we'll just settle for functioning psychopath.
Anyway,
Well,
yeah, I can take it back.
the battle fades in the distance. After a while, the wall of flame subsides, so you can assume it's over.
Yes,
You're brought to Volatello.
yes, indeed.
Sat in front of an old politician-looking lady. Hmm.
All right, so we're in private now, right?
Queen
Yep.
Victoria looking
Okay.
woman.
Anyway, he takes the fish mask back off. By the way, he has not demonstrated that the mask can change. He simply has demonstrated that he has a mask of
Yep.
the axolotl. But anyway, anyway, he takes that off and greets her politely, like he would an old friend or an old friend.
She is a tad confused at this. Greets you back because it's a polite thing to do, and then turns towards Marsus and asks for an explanation. He just sort of shrugs as best his armor can.
Well, what matters here is I have handed you a victory against your enemy army, and I believe that honestly kind of concludes our business. Unless you need more help.
What happened to the general?
I have slain him. Remember this. Remember the name Aethith the Slayer.
Oh, he's not great anymore.
Yeah, he
Not,
intentionally changed it.
He workshopped it a little.
No. It was completely on purpose that he used the different.
Yep.
Out of character. That was on purpose. Anyway.
Not ideal, but we can work with it. Were you sent by Willand?
I am Willand, he said. Yeah. Anyway, yes.
Technically.
Well, I suppose we owe your gratitude. You're free to go as you please.
Took the wind out of her sails when she was about to interrogate.
Yep.
Well, I gave them a battle with an exhausted and demoralized army.
Oh yeah, they fucking swept because of you. But it's just sort of shocked that it turned out like this.
Yes, exhausted.
The
Should've
victory
figured-
was so empty.
Completely.
Should have figured something was. Yeah, should have figured something was up when you made that move, or when the army made that move, rather. You hear a few voices bickering as you leave the room. Off to report your grand success.
Yes. Well, I do on the way. I do request a horse and use that to as quickly as possible return to the capital.
Well, a horse will be provided to you. That's the least they can do. And with the horse, you'll be able to return tomorrow, I think. So, back to Back to Chun.
I just saw the crab thing. The chart.
Crap.
What is Chun up to? Just more of the usual, killing time,
Yeah. not
sending
too bad.
messages to Aura.
Oh, also,
Abusing her authority, getting portraits painted just to send it to Aura, like selfies.
also, she doesn't really have interest of entering the city, but she is going to introduce Ka to the Lord of Kalisini, or whatever it's called, because he's still around.
The man warbles in greeting. Him and Carr have a discussion on the future of his city and whatnot.
Whether or not he remains neutral.
Despite the man's rather fat appearance, he's an expert diplomat. Knows exactly what to say and who to say it to. He and Carr get along well.
See, Chan is a good whatever diplomat, I think.
Have you met my friend?
So yeah, that's basically it. He doesn't really have anything else to do.
Okay, in that case, George and Sabina, possibly doing similar things today, possibly doing completely different things today.
No, supposing whatever invitation she has with Danielle is later, she'll go with George in the morning to the forge.
Yep. George will walk in boldly and proudly. Actually, no, hang on. Let's go straight from morning. George kicks your door in and says, "All right, come on, Sabina." He doesn't. He
Sabina
just,
somehow
knocks very loudly.
Being woken up at what I assume is 5 a.m. because
6.
okay,
That's pretty late.
6.
Man, God, late. Yeah, she's
Yeah, she gets
she's
an extra
already
hour
at a
rest.
she's already at her desk reading literature.
You know, I would have hoped that you'd use the extra time to sleep, but whatever. Let's get going.
The door
Show me
door
your
sort of
list.
swings off its the door sort of swings off its hinges on the way out.
I do not know what the price of that is, but I am certain it was not cheap.
All I did was knock.
You kicked the door in.
I corrected that and said, "No, we'll just
I
knock."
like to imagine Bright's correction there was just a random person in the hallway at the time.
George completely ignores it.
Well, sorry, I could hear you. Sorry for listening in, but I could hear you without a door in the way.
Anyhow,
Well,
I'll
whatever.
have someone
Hopefully they'll
clean
get
this
you
up.
some better quarters.
I requested these quarters.
Are you staying at Vergillo's or
You requested
are you
these
staying in
quarters?
your own quarters?
I think she decided to stay at her own quarter. Well, I think she specifically asked for an office just be set aside for her so she can
Okay.
conduct.
So this
business
wasn't
here.
them trying to snub you.
No.
I had
she
the offer
specifically
to stay
requested.
I had the offer to stay at other mansions, but I thought it would be more convenient for me to be closer to the council at this
Why don't you
present time.
Why don't you request Danielle, see if you can stay with her for a while?
Bit forward.
You seem to get on.
Sabina, holding her chin, opens her mouth and then just closes it. Looks aside, looks back at George. How about we go to the forge then?
Yes.
Violence funded George. He deserves claws to his face.
George very straightforwardly solves your problem.
Yeah. Alright, well-
So you make your way to the forge, which isn't too far from Sabina's office because it's technically the same building even, but
Yeah, once more, she requested it because it's easier to get
Yep.
close to council meetings.
Yeah, well, as George throws open the doors, he announces, "Oh, Bertie's George is here."
you hear a groan, but they
George Rattle laughs at that.
they greet you.
Oh, Sabrina, you don't know how much I enjoy annoying them.
I can see that as your pastime. Sabina
Okay, I
on
can hear
entry
again now.
asks. Great. I can see that's your pastime. Sabina asks the birdies once they approach, is Master Virgilo in, or is he still not a morning person?
Still not a morning person, and he's unlikely to come to the forge until he needs something. He's probably in his workshop in the outer district.
Just like our mole camp, then.
Kitty.
Well, I heard
Useless
from
in everything but tinkering.
and murder.
How did you
Sabina
know
says
about
in her
that? What's Carbon telling you?
The truth.
The truth.
Yeah.
Sabina says to the birdies, George has told me
Which ones?
that. Yes. George has told me that.
He stares at George's tits and starts talking. The birdies.
Oh,
Birdies, yeah. Wait, he doesn't
you
even
would
have
loved it
tits
in life. I had
anymore.
marvelous pecs.
What? Anymore?
Well, he had marvelous pecs when he was alive.
When he had flesh and muscle, maybe.
Yeah, you could squeeze an orange between them.
What?
Can
do
George
something?
touch his elbows together? And you guys gave car shit.
Kenneth can touch 10 of his elbows together.
Well, George can do now as well. Just
Or like 20 centimeters.
Well, she says that
Anyways.
George has said that you have proposals to ask of me.
Yes. We would like to establish a a similar thing to what George mentioned. You had constructed in Willand. A fake.
they mean a testing village.
Yes, a fake village. Used to test. Used to test various war equipment.
Yes.
The council had previously denied these requests because, well, they gave a myriad reasons: funding and the desire to keep it so close to the capital.
I would bring this up to them with my intention to follow along. Anything that advances the cause of weaponry would do us good in the future. I
Yes, on
would
that. you'll
would
s-
assent to their funding concerns, however. Perhaps in time we'll figure out how to deal with that issue.
Well, that shouldn't be much of a problem if we simply relocate our own testing village. If we cease repairs on it and maintenance and just, well, leave it as is for people to. Well, once we clear it of all the unexploded ordnance, if we are then allowed to actually function as a village, and simply set one up here. It would require a worker housing block, though, in which case I would like to move the toy box itself and leave the essence production back in Willand.
A question though, George. Why not just move your entire facility, well, much of your operations here? There's a better forge, and I've heard they've been undergoing efforts to fabricate adamantium.
Yes, that was one of the things I wanted to bring up. I never got your names, and if I did, I always forgot it. What was it, you two?
Sabina.
It was Sabina and George. But
You, Sabina. Have we all just chosen these days to be particularly dense and obtuse?
I remember giving them names, but I don't remember what they were.
Right, well, 31,
We used to have
32.
names, but
So let's
They-
give
they
them new
lost-
names and pretend those.
They lost their name tags in a smelting accident.
Taylor and Tyler, there you go.
No, Paul and Saul.
I don't think they're tailors.
Sure.
I think they're like smiths.
It's Chuck and Sneak.
Sydney and Cindy.
They're men.
You seen these?
Both can be men's names if you give them to a man.
Isn't that how?
Let's
I mean, the
see.
first one. The first one actually is neutral. I don't believe.
Yeah,
Sydney.
it's
All right, fuck it. They're Edgar and Oliver.
I'm
Alright.
pretty sure that was
so-
what their prior names
Pretty
were.
sure those are female names.
Edgar, Oliver,
Well, if you
you
give them
two
to a woman,
hold this forge in good working order, and I've seen some of your designs. They're quite good. How would you feel about being incorporated into a toy box when it's moved over here? You'd be working closely with a few hand-picked other engineers and metallurgists, with the express goal of creating weapons of mass destruction.
and the psychotic murderer.
Well,
Yes, he
Paul
was
created a
handpicked.
psychotic murderer.
Also, the psychotic murderer wasn't with the toy box for a while now. He sort of fucked
Yeah.
off
Ah,
to do,
right.
to do
we got the
to
other
do things
one,
with the
other
Braxis.
wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, there
Who
was
isn't the
another
psychotic
wizard
murderer?
who was working with him. But the essence.
You mean the old
production-
alchemist?
Yeah.
Pierre, I
And
think
an
it was.
alchemist.
I think so. Although the essence production, the actual warhead production, will have to remain in Willen. I did promise that to Carr, and it's best if it stays there.
Well, with the Earthshakers, there's hardly much use for them. It was the burrowing shell that was doing most of the lifting there, anyways.
And if our main,
Well, the shell was only a delivery mechanism.
Sure, but that was the most important part. Anyway,
Yes.
to make a strong explosive, it's the
Oh,
It's
we're
delivery
working on
that was
don't
unique.
worry.
Sabina interjects in this conversation and says, regardless, if our enemy is the compact, we only need... if the enemy is Archanglia, we only need enough
Old habits, huh?
birdies. Yes. We only need enough birdies to besiege the one city that has been untouched in their possession. All
Yes,
other
I've got
weaponry
4
would be
cores with me.
we would need to be making a new line of weaponry to combat their naval capacity.
How about
Yeah.
making essence torpedoes?
What's a torpedo, and how did you get it?
how the fuck did Tim get here?
Ancient Hagian secret. Nothing personnel can.
No, you just hear Chun shouting from all the way from the outside of the city.
How the fuck did she hear us? This isn't Hagian land.
While she's looking at baby pictures.
I don't want to know what a torpedo is now. Anyway, but yes, we'll be producing some novel weapons to either deliver the birdies with the charges inside, or George will just pull out of the pearl one of the one of the warheads and place it on a table, or to deliver that directly via a port strike or against a navy.
As far as I remember, the way the pearl works, I think George is just shouting into the pearl, and there's a worker's hand holding one of the cores.
No, there's like a rack set up at the entrance, so he just leans his arm in and just feels around for a minute.
He has everything close to the entrance, so the space inside of it's not meaningful.
Yeah, and then he just pulls out one of the Berties, goes, oh, no, not that one, puts it back in, rummages around a bit more, then gets one of the warheads, puts it on the table.
Oh.
Yeah, so I've got 3 more of those. We're going to just start flinging them at the walls.
If these are as effective as they've proven to be, I doubt the Archangelian city will hold much better. And
they are. They're about
you seem to have stockpile enough to do it, even if we don't produce anymore.
Oh, we're working on more of the Berties, but I specifically asked for the warheads themselves. They can be produced much faster. But I need a new delivery mechanism. And now that Sabina's here to give it approval, rather than having to bother and negotiate and deal with Carr, try my patience as he does, we can just get on with it.
The 2 birdies look at each other and say, "What about the old cannon we were working on?"
Cannon?
They seem somewhat excited by the idea. They go off a bit, rummaging through. Well, you can hear rummaging from a room. They come back with a blueprint.
Is it covered in weird stained white lines? And just weird knife marks? I'm asking if they're doing coke.
No.
I don't think coke would leave
so they're
stain.
not real weapons designers, got it.
Look, if the coke leaves stains, it's not good quality, right?
No, if the coke leaves stains, you've done a lot of fucking coke.
But, no.
It's not inhaling at all.
Weak
That's
nose.
bad coke.
You have some trouble. Actually, you know what? Give me what the fuck would this be? This isn't even lore arcane. This is like, give me a craft check. Fuck it.
Yeah, that's what it would.
Even with your knowledge, you have a bit of trouble. Yeah, even with your knowledge, you have some trouble understanding exactly what the fuck this thing is meant to be.
Yeah.
It's like
George will pick up some,
it's like a long rail thing with coils on the side, and
Oh god.
how the fuck is this supposed to work?
Fucking ring gun.
George will just pull out like some loose metal bars from a thing nearby and just arrange them on the diagram so we can get a better look, get better idea.
Of course, the big problem with the cannon was that we couldn't get magic to behave properly through the coils.
How does the... If I'm interpreting this correctly, the charge goes here, pointing at what he presumes is the breach, and is propelled along the rails. What do these coils do?
The theory, anyhow, is that we would flood the coils with magical energy and propel a projectile forward at ludicrous speeds.
Fast enough to overwhelm any barrier spell or get there before it's up?
Fast enough to not be able to react to something like this. He grabs the charge of the birdie and shakes it.
Careful! George will grab his wrist to stop him shaking it further. Be very careful.
Fast enough to stop something like this from going off, or
I see.
from being stopped rather.
Don't shake those things. They won't detonate. But if the containment is breached, you're dead.
It's not that much essence. We'll be fine.
I've
You say that.
Sabina cuts into the conversation. I've heard, I believe, enough of the proposal. I believe we can I can make an arrangement to the council, saying the necessity for putting more effort into this device of yours. Have there been any? Have you tried? What have been the attempts at making this device so far?
We've attempted twice before, and every time we thought it should work, well, something goes wrong with the magic in the coils. Last time, well, the time before that, it just refused to fire, but last time, the entire thing went up in smoke.
Then I might suggest that we make a new workshop on the outskirts of the city in the west. And when you have a working model, you can test the firing into the mountains.
Well, a simple way to do that. If the coils are the problem, make a bunch of the base without them. Create a ton of different coil types and variants. Get out there and test until something works.
Did you have any other proposals you wish to put forward before the council?
Yes.
For now, the expansion of our testing facilities is what we require. We would like to make a proposal to Willen directly, if possible.
I can
What would that
arrange
be?
for.
Willand is far richer than the compact in adamantium. We will probably need a lot of it for future experiments, and it's a simple fact that most of the stuff that goes from the mines here doesn't even end up in our workshop.
Well, Sabina, if they made engineers at Lockheed Bertie, it'd be valuable.
Well, aside from a proposal to
Okay.
Willand, I can draft a letter to two merchants that I know. I'm pretty certain Otto and River could cook something up of a supply for you.
Yes, I can have
As
my
long as
workers
as
bring
long as,
ships out here as well.
someone's willing to foot the bill.
Oh, gee.
I
Yes,
will
I have to go
bring
over
this up
discussion
to
with
the.
Carl.
I'll bring this up to the council as well,
Yes.
and
Well-
I'll put a message out to Carr to see if he wishes to put forward any national stock into this project. Then
Tell
I
him
have,
to reallocate funds from the toy box. It'd be best to relocate that bit.
Then I have work to do. Do take care.
Yeah.
They
Well,
they
my
both bow
descendants-
towards Sabina, and they both bow towards Sabina very politely and thank her for hearing them out.
Thank you for the patronage.
They're
Well, now
they're a
that
lot
you've
less
spoken-
they're a lot less respectful towards Birdie.
Yeah, I know. Even though he snapped their necks in an instant.
Yeah, this is that.
Yeah, but Sabina can cut her funding.
Yeah. The next one
Right.
thing you can replace that funding.
Well, no, you can kill them. Sabina can ruin their lives.
Well,
Damn.
now that that's sorted,
Who doesn't want to be in that position?
how about we get one of these made up, ready to test? I've got some ideas myself.
Sabina's already out of the building.
It, are you sure we should do it in the capital? It doesn't seem safe.
Well, if we
Makes
make
sense.
it here and simply take it outside to test, it should be fine.
Hmm,
We don't have to use it
Suppose.
here. Have you been testing them inside this building?
He just points to the what is essentially a gun range they have set up in the back.
You've been testing siege weaponry at a target range.
Oh, die.
I'm starting to understand why your funding was cut.
We've been doing this because our funding was cut.
That's what you were. What have I done? What have I invited? you
Well,
for?
Sabina.
What were we supposed to do? Not test them?
Test them outside the city, you fool!
Well, we're explicitly not allowed. We're explicitly not allowed.
Sabina in the same
Something
building where
about
they-
something about farmlands and whatnot.
the
They don't
council
deserve all that.
holding all their meetings next to their nuclear test site. Speaking of, when she steps out into the hallway, she's gonna find someone to say, summon the council.
Just give me the,
the council would-
specifications and the medals, and I'll start work.
The council will be in session in a few hours. So,
For the rest of the day, should I just roll a craft?
what are you trying to do?
Produce parts for a prototype?
Are you willing to donate some of your own magic metal for it,
Uh,
or is this just going to be
yeah,
a steel
actually.
prototype?
Yeah, I'll steal mock-up first, and then after
All right.
that,
In that
I'll
case,
donate
give me
magic
a craft.
While he's doing that roll, can I make a request to upgrade the
Fuck it, huh?
titles of the council members? I want to say
Oh.
I summoned the elector counts.
Jesus Christ, Mike.
You help out with the construction of the thing, but
I mean, I don't need a force,
It's-
so I can just work on the parts.
well, it's pretty clear that at least in this invention, your offspring have surpassed you.
That's because it was their idea.
Yes, obviously.
They had the idea of using coils. George wanted to use
Yeah.
gunpowder.
You didn't show them up in their own invention, not with that roll anyway.
You win this time, gadgets.
It's only the steel mock-up. This is the magic metal variant, which is to be the production variant. He'll show him up on that. This is probably one of the worst pieces he's done.
So, Sabina, the hours pass. The council is assembled.
Oh, and the times that the hours have passed, she's drafted up the formal proposals on paper to present to them. Assuming all of them are in attendance, she begins with the purpose of this council setting is the matter of the workshop and the Grand Forge. The birdie operators of the forge have brought forward to me these proposals 3. First, a matter of funding and allowing for a testing facility for their weaponry. I have visited the forge myself and saw that it is... The testing site itself is not comparable to the recent Will and OSHA standards. And it says that in addition to a testing site somewhere comfortably that's a fake village, we need to find the methods for establishing a workshop comfortably outside the city limits, but still within the walls, so that they
We've
can test another type of weapon.
we've
It
discussed
would have to be
this
outside walls.
we've discussed this proposition with the Birdie brothers before. It's
Wait,
a simple
they are
matter
two
of
guys?
fact that anything. Yes,
Birdie Bros.
it's a simple matter of. It's a simple matter of fact that any land they would wish to use for such a testing village is already being occupied by the necessary farmland to feed this city. They refuse to move it further for quite understandable reasons. After all, they are required to operate the Grand Forge. And we cannot allow the city to starve for the purposes of further weapons development that may not even be necessary.
Considering recent history of Willand weapon development being the crux of this war, I would put the counter to that claim that the development is no longer necessary.
Quite evidently.
Development is necessary as a people and as a country to stand on the world stage and, say, fight off against not just Archanglia, but attempts from the Republic and the Empire to claim either the lands of Willand or my now soon-be beloved compact.
If you are to arrange this with them, it would require a substantial dedication of resources to either set up a supply line from further away for the necessary food, or set up new farms close to the capital itself.
Well, I
Still,
don't have
any
the-
place any place within a day's travel is already taken, and longer than that risks collapse should something happen to the supply lines.
Well, I assure you, that which we spend in our defense today means greater share of production for us in the future. We could even, with this being developed, as a protectorate of Willand as we may be, we can still ask for them to purchase our weapons designed by the Birdie Forges. And that alone could be funding for much greater resources at our disposal.
This is ultimately your decision. We have offered our advice.
Well, I just do decide that we should begin this process wherever you see best fit. I'm almost certain that there are some lands devoid of farmers that we can send whoever needs to be sent away to now inhabit this land.
So be it. The other proposals, then?
Yes, the proposal for the workshop and testing ground now underway. There is a proposal that to set up proper trades with Willand for the adamantium at its disposal. My recommendations from knowing people in the merchant business, we can make competitive rates by asking both the Lord of Thornhold and River of the Callista family to procure their own lines of trade. And failing anything of that, we can always ask for Willen to subsidize the weapons research personally. I have sent a letter to the effective car. I have not received that as of yet.
Let's see how they respond. A supply of high quality adamantium was a concern of ours even before the war. It is best we receive the individual offers from the merchants and negotiate from there.
Then I shall send out the letters needed. Then the last proposal is the new weapon that is in development from the birdies. The project I have not heard the name of involves a coil-operated firing device to be combined with the warheads that have been used in the weapons that have wreaked so much havoc upon fortress walls throughout this war.
Give me a perception check when you say this.
Okay, just checking what Sabina's perception is again. Okay, first, unlock your
Oh,
the fuck?
What?
Why did that
why
activate?
do we hear?
What the fuck?
What?
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 What have you done?
I'm not
What
certain,
are you
but
doing?
my phone had Google AI Assistant activating.
Ah,
Oh, god damn it. Oh well.
You see nothing. You know nothing. Well,
Can't use fate unitions due to the
it's
presence of 3 opal bears.
it's up to you. It's up to you if you wish to authorize this experiment, but well, the council has seen it fail in the past twice. They don't have high hopes for it.
Let us, can we provide some funding in part? Perhaps a test or two more might bear better fruit. After all, this is a collaborative process.
If you're willing to, if Willand is willing to shelter some of the funding, then we will provide the other part.
Shelter some of them.
I will send a request to His Majesty in such a manner.
I believe that concludes Lady Sabina's worries for today.
Unless, of course, there are any requests from the council, matters to bring up.
Bolatello has sent a report that they've almost wiped out the Arkanglian forces. It might be time to begin the march.
Okay, she has a complex expression on her face for a few moments as she thinks. I suppose we'll march out at dawn then, and I'll send that letter to Carr as well. Now,
do you sit in as they discuss some other minor things about running the city, or are you too busy?
Let's see. Can she draft up letters while listening as well as she could?
Not really. The council room isn't suited for writing, as it were.
You know what? She'll sit in.
All right. Things about taxation, things about army supplies, things about resources, things about maybe needing to start rationing food soon if they don't get more shipments, etc., etc.
Oh, right. Another thing. She will interject with a proposal that she thought up of just recently whenever there's a spell. She will bring up that there was the wish of Car Callista to start a school of magic in Willand. We could possibly use much of this in further negotiations with Willand itself if we can provide any resources from the academy here in the compact.
The academy in Poso is always willing to cooperate with outsiders. Though establishing a new school in Willand would create competition for their current position of dominance in that field. They would, however, probably be very willing to allow anyone who wishes to from Willand to come join their academy.
Alright, she'll ask the Arcanist to provide a write-up of any details that he would want to present to Car Callisto to direct people to the compact land then.
But of course, some other issues are handled, nothing of real importance. Roll a willpower check to stay awake.
Sure.
It's pretty late now. How much longer do we think we can go for?
Sabina keeps herself awake, despite the extremely boring nature of the subject.
Is it greater than 8 that I had to roll for that?
No.
Ah, darn it.
Let's see. That's Sabina and George's day, I think.
Well, like,
May and then 8th of...
I
Alright.
can get to this.
does the council go?
May has been continuing to develop her plan. Has she received an answer from Carr yet on her preliminary proposal to use the frost snow globe against the Archanglia?
do you have a delivery method for it? Because he doesn't really fancy freezing half of a newly acquired city to dust for it.
I would be delivering it myself to the flotilla while it's still en route, and hence the need for the detonation device I described in the proposal.
He would certainly say best not to, because he had made a promise to keep you relatively safe, or at least alive. You being the one delivering this explosive is not within that promise. He doesn't think.
Yeah.
Does Otto not have an aquatic commando to send in on this?
I will like in the next letter. I'll lay out that it won't be a risky matter for me to deliver it. The as far as Archanglia will be concerned at the time, I will be their ally, giving them some additional supplies and munitions from Otto to assist in their efforts to retake the land. If I hadn't already laid it out, basically the angle I'm going for is following the peace talks with the compact, the resources Papa put into reclaiming these cities. His efforts there is not being recognized. The cities are being returned as compact property. So if Archanglia can supply a better deal, he will be more than happy to back their side here. Not so keen on getting screwed over, after all, as far as the Arcanians are concerned. That will be the story, and I will be joining them as an ally.
Well, if you believe you can pull it off, then I suppose there's no reason not to try. And the snow globes haven't actually come in use during the war, unexpectedly.
Yes, I believe squashing a good portion of the Arkanglian army in an optimal circumstance would be a more than worthwhile use.
If only it was used to just wipe Felmus off the face of the map. Because that one is pure Archanglian territory.
Okay, so then I'll have laid out as well as plan that I intend to contact whatever generals or contacts I have on the Arkanglian mainland, reporting that I haven't received back any word from their armies in a few days. Just continuing, whatever the optimal plan is to look like I'm in the dark a decent bit about exactly what happened. That I'll be soon learning about the fate of the cities that I took, and somewhat displeased about that.
All right.
So yes, more planning and logistics.
More planning and logistics. And Aethif.
He was
You have...
beelining it back.
Yep, you can make it back today. The news
Okay.
arriving before you.
Yes. Well, I will go to... I guess the person in charge would be Sabina, right?
Carr is technically in charge.
Oh, is he here?
I think.
He would be in
Yes,
that army.
he is in... Yeah, he's in the army
well,
of
if he's here,
Blackstone.
I guess I'll go report into him.
He is... How perturbed would he be that you managed to do that?
Well, I'll explain things, but anyway, Vilna will show up to report in.
He confuses
Chun
you
still
for
there?
the real Vilna for a bit. Chun would still be there, I think.
Oh, nice.
Okay, continue.
He confuses you for the real Vilna for a bit, then tries to summon Vilna. A second Vilna appears.
This one briefly wags its tail before reverting to Aethif.
Aethif. Glad to see her well.
Ah, I return with good news. I have eliminated the enemy army.
Well, we were intending to set off to march. The news arrived before you did. It was
Chun slams her hand on the table, stands up, and you didn't invite me?
I apologize. This was a bit more of a surgical maneuver.
She sits
I,
down, sulking.
but I reassure you, they didn't put up much of a fight anyway. It wouldn't have been very fun.
Well, we'll have enough fighting in our future here, I think. We are consolidating the armies and marching forward. Say, Chun, if you are so inclined, we'll even let you take the front.
Sure, why not?
Anyway, I believe it is time that Aethith, I'll just say this in character. Aethith says, "I believe it is time I start discussing my compensation for my part in this war."
And what exactly would you expect in compensation?
You see that city of Titsusigi and Canton.
Yes.
I've been told that I needed to create a name for myself, so I wish for Titsusigi to be renamed Aethith and Canton to be renamed New Aethith.
He thinks about it for a bit.
After all, I single-handedly defeated both of them.
Can't exactly diplomatically reveal that you did that, though, can we?
It just needs the name. It doesn't need an explanation.
I mean, the people in Canton were pretty sure
People
that
are gonna-
he was a volunteer agent.
People are gonna be asking questions about who this Aethith is if we rename the city.
Oh, you could build giant statues.
Not to worry.
That was a secondary consideration.
Not to worry. We could. He thinks about it for a bit more. I don't suppose adoption would be out of the question. Make you an honorary Callista.
Don't really see what I get from that.
Fame.
It'd make things easier for me to rename the cities, at least.
Ah, so in other words, I get the cities, and that's your excuse for it. Yeah, sure, why not, Dad?
Jesus Christ.
He flinches when you call him that. He flinches when you call him that. But
I mean, imagine Sabina's like
hold
having
on.
a nice
No.
date at the moment, and she just
Why-
feels like she just the hairs in the back of her neck stand up, and she just out loud says there's a disturbance in the force.
Hold on.
You could-
Why would
you
Todd
could-
flinch when Vilna calls him daddy?
You could let
He was
it wasn't as
in
Wilna.
mode.
Yeah,
He was
it was
in
Aethith mode.
Yeah.
You
And
could
that
let
is
her-
If it was
absolutely
Wilna, but
okay.
hold on. If it wasn't, if it was Wilna, but not real Wilna, that'd be worse.
Yeah, that would be horrific. But also, I'm pretty sure Vilna would say master or something like that.
She would say husband.
I'm pretty sure she's still not over. I'm pretty sure she's still not over saying my liege.
Dog.
So yeah, but
Anyhow,
you should let Sabina adopt him.
God knows.
That
Carr
way-
says that he doesn't see a problem with renaming the cities. But it'll have to wait for the war to end. It's
That is fine. It can be part of the
Yeah,
terms
it's
of ending the war.
it's a minor matter of paperwork that there are more important things to handle right now, such as
Oh,
marching
yeah.
out.
And
Indeed,
also
I have
something that would need to
demonstrated
be
that I
brought-
prioritize getting things done.
Well, to be
And
fair,
of course,
actually
he has
plan
to
to-
he has to
actually
mull
plan
over
to
the whole
rename the
adoption
city.
thing.
because it's a real mouthful to say.
It needs to be pronounceable to Hagian tongues.
Look, I'm German and I can't pronounce it.
Look,
Well,
it could
can you
just be
pronounce
Callistan. A mixed opportunity.
Hold on. What's unpronounceable to you?
Tomayano. Tomayano.
Ah,
It's a mouthful to say.
how? I assume that's meant to be pronounced in an Italian way, and I'm guessing Bright's the only one here who knows how to do that.
Tomayano, or something like that.
Tomayano.
Yeah.
Tomayana.
Ormaiano.
Anyways, the armies move. Is are George and Sabina gonna join this? I assume they are, unless Sabina wants to stay behind the capital.
As the,
Because it makes sense for them both to join the army and to stay in the capital. So, like, you
Yeah,
pick.
George is
So-
working on the prototype, so unless Carr asks him to.
You get
Sabina
this
has
odd
the-
feeling that Osman asked specifically not to ask him to.
Did the specifications of the detonator that May needs ever get passed along to George?
I think so.
I'm
Yeah,
sure Carr would have sent the letter forward,
I'm pretty
George-
sure.
or at least sent it back to the toy box.
Basically, May just needs a highly secure, covert, timed detonator for that. It will 100% be undetectable and functioning.
Look,
That's actually impossible.
the device
Well,
actually
okay,
looks
as secure as possible.
the blueprint May sent out looked like two iron spears, but one top is held up by a screwdriver.
No, May had a description of what she needed. She described that she needed a device to it would look like it was just a part of the snow globe, perhaps a base or something like that, that would be discreet and would be able to reliably detonate it after a time delay.
This guy breaks some glass.
I mean, yeah, you can whip up a small
Yes, it
stopwatch.
it should be a simple device. It's a small charge on a timer, basically, but it needs to be very hard to detect the presence of that device. Or, like, detect that it's not just a part that's meant to be an innocuous snow globe component.
I mean, that would just be as simple as just adding a small stopwatch to a snow globe.
Really.
I mean, yeah, it looks like a regular snow globe, right?
Yeah, and you put it in a locked case along with all the armaments that are being sent out. And by the time
It's very
they figure
obviously,
out where the lock is, or where the key is for the lock, kaboom.
Well, the snow globe is very obviously a magical item. It's you can't really.
It's a lead box.
Well, no.
And as we've learned, a lead sheet is enough to stop people from scanning magic.
That's true.
I'm thinking a mechanical
Where the fuck did
device
you learn
integrated
this?
into its face and dressed up ornately to look as if it's just a part of the snow globe itself should be well within Birdie's capabilities.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah,
Anyway, I have this image.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yes, yes.
Hold on, you found that online somewhere?
No, I made it.
Nice.
Uh,
That is a good
I like how
generation. Oh no, that's not a
It is-
generation. That is
It
just
is-
a transparency background screwdriver with the model snow globe
Yes.
with watermarks.
I like how it's the worst screwdriver in existence, a Phillips screwdriver.
Not
Well,
even
worst
flathead.
common screwdriver.
Like a flathead wouldn't have
flathead-
slipped.
Phillips are dog shit.
Flathead screws suck, but I understand their purpose. They should only be used for low torque adjustment screws or decorative low torque applications. Phillips screws should just never be used.
Also, remember when you're in an adventuring party with the paladin and you're trying to hide your alignment, always bring your standard issue lead sheet.
True.
Anyways,
And as for whether or not Sabina and George go to the army, I think Invader said that he's staying. Sabina will stay at least for
Unless
one. Yeah, Sabina will at least stay for one night, maybe figure out from there. But she promised to have tea with a certain tutor.
right.
It may stay the night.
So George, you decided to make this timer for May, right?
Yeah, I'll just work on that in between.
How do you make it? What does it consist of?
Well, just small internal mechanisms. Just, I imagine he knows how a clock is made.
Oh, yeah.
It's just a very small clock, so he'll just get together some bits of iron, just forge those into shape, file them down, fit them into
Right,
a
so
small little,
nothing magical.
circular. No, nothing magical.
Okay.
Just a small little circular disc with the, I guess then the triggering device just on the back face of it that can be attached to the bottom of the snow globe.
Okay. Suppose you could send that off. It wouldn't be too heavy, I imagine.
It barely weigh any more
Yep.
than the snow globe itself, I imagine. Dead light.
Of course, sending the snow globe off would be a bit of an issue.
Yeah. Well, if you can catch them before they leave, you'll ask Aethith to deliver.
Yeah, you certainly can. But can you find Aethith in the camp? Or is it just Vilna and
You'll
Vilna too?
just look for Wilna.
Aethith, who's currently not dressed as Vilna, passes entirely unnoticed.
Wilna,
He hands it to real Vilna.
give this to Aethith. I can't. I'm starting to not be able to tell you apart. I'm so sorry, Wilna.
I'm
It's
sorry
such
too.
Just pass this to Aethith and tell him to get it to May.
What is wrong with that child?
I don't know. I think there was a mistake in the resurrection. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I'll pass it on.
Yeah, it's for May. Her hands.
Right.
Thank you, and sorry again. Have a nice day.
This happened before the armies moved, but the armies will move out, marching as fast as they can.
Yep.
Which is a hex a day, and that's them double timing it because of how large the army is.
I assume Aethith's able to get me the snow globe faster than that, right?
Or was Aethith leaving the army? He does have a horse. He can technically go faster than that, but it's not really a convenient crossing because they blew up some of their bridges for obvious reasons.
As far as crossing rivers is concerned, he just kind of
Crossing
crawls along the bottom.
this river here, May can definitely fly
Yeah, but you
over.
can't get the horse
Yeah.
across
Oh
most
yeah,
likely.
yeah. I meant if he didn't need a horse. Yeah.
Actually, for just crossing one horse, wouldn't it be perfectly feasible to use a temporary magical bridge? Not that Aethith could do that. But they
Aethith
certainly
can't
could.
do magic.
He
May
was-
could, but Aethith can't.
Yes. And the only river Aethif needs to cross is this one, no?
May
Yep.
needs to meet Aethif halfway.
Well, are you riding off
Uh,
with the snow globe and the timer in tow, or are you just sticking with the army for now?
Cope.
Sorry, what was that? I was dealing with something. IRL.
Right.
What's up?
Are you riding off? Are you riding off to deliver the snow globe and the timer to May, or are you sticking with the army?
Oh, have I been
Uh,
given it?
You have been
Yeah,
handed
you've
it
been
by
given it
Vilna.
and asked
So,
to
so
give
Vilna
it to
handed this to me.
Vilna handed it to you and said apparently it's a delivery for May, and
Stop.
wouldn't it
looking
be
like
nice
me.
if someone wouldn't it be
I
nice
don't
if
look like her
someone
right
was
now.
very fast? Wouldn't it be nice if someone was very fast and moving away from this army?
Well, I suppose Prince Aethif, the Great Slayer, can oblige.
God, by the end of this campaign, the entire party is gonna be Callisto's.
Actually, Aethif,
All
All
adopting
according
the
to
name.
plan.
Aethif's idea of adopting the name is to name himself Kar Aethif.
Not
Like,
how
that
that
was also
works, I'm
something I had
afraid.
already decided.
Oh yeah, come to think of it, does Papa even have a last name, or is it just Papa?
He doesn't have a last name.
He
He
does.
is
I
of
assume he does
Sonholm.
have books and books of titles across many worlds.
Yes. A lot of people know him as a lot of different things, but his name
He
is
has more. He has
his
more
name is
titles than
singular.
anyone else.
Anyway, what are you
Who
deciding?
names their kids sing?
Got right.
Oh yeah, he'll. I guess he'll agree to head off.
All right.
There's not
You
much
having the
else
horse
for him
can
to
move
do, I
faster than the army.
suppose.
So like here, and then the army moves up slightly behind you.
Yay! So 2 sessions of negotiations while I travel.
To be fair, there's not much negotiating to be done. In fact, we can just skip forward like a week or two for the armies to move.
Yeah.
May has some social manipulations to do, ingratiating herself with the Arkanglian lords back on the homeland.
Yeah, but we can skip to that.
Thing is, I'm not sure if they even sent back word that you did make that deal. To be honest,
Hmm.
Man, it'd be amazing if the general
Just stay one.
was alive to send correspondence.
Well, I
this is day 2. This is day
even
3.
if word about this that deal hadn't gotten back beforehand, they would be foolish to not see this and attempt to get Papa as an ally. There are many wonders that can be offered to aid in their. Is emulation the right
Genocide.
word of the compact? Genocide is certainly a word, but I figured emulation might be a little bit more flashy.
God, I'm gonna burn them all. Anyway, after
I mean,
But is she from Buenos Aires?
After a few weeks of travel,
after
or not a few weeks, a few days of travel.
after
Specifically
a few
3
days
days.
After a few days of the army marching, I think Sabina would have achieved what she would want to do in the capital in the meantime, and go right off to be with the armies.
Well, it's up to you. Though, do bear in mind that this leaves George as the one tie your armies have to the capital currently.
Okay. Right, how much damage is he actually capable of doing on his own?
A lot.
Look at
He has
Aethith.
nukes.
If he's attacked,
He has nukes.
Well, no, he doesn't have the
what's
nukes.
just don't attack him.
He has the warheads. Car has the nukes.
In any
Okay,
case,
he
it's
has
unlikely
people.
something bad will happen, but I'm not sure if Sabina's paranoid enough.
Aside from her being paranoid enough, does someone ask her to stay in the capital?
For what it's worth, the council seems rather eager to kick the Archanglians out, and if you joining the army means that happens faster, then by all means.
And that's unanimous from the council's wisdom?
There'll be plenty of times to talk more later.
Alright, well.
In fact, the only way the time gets cut short is by Archanglia actually doing something here.
Yeah.
Which, after like 4 days of no communication, they will likely get suspicious as to the state of the army.
Hey, have you seen how the general writes his handwriting?
I took all his stuff, so if there's any writings in that, then yes.
Send a letter to Archanglia about how the Compact have destroyed their forces.
Actually, the first thing that the Archanglians hear online is probably from May.
Yeah, probably. May would have been talking to them beforehand. Would she have mentioned the state of their forces? Would she have known the state of their forces?
She would have mentioned that she hadn't heard word back from them, basically.
Well, their army just got flat out destroyed, so it's not like not like they were able to send out any messages afterwards.
True, but it has been like 3 days and no contact with the army, so...
But that's what I mean. Like, it's going to be non-correspondence as opposed to, hey, we lost.
Well, it depends, correct, if you want to maintain having the ability to disguise the general to give false info.
General, after his army got entirely massacred, would be suspicious in the least, but he could maybe pull off I was captured thing or whatever.
Or I've gotten successfully into the arms of our allied army.
Or we're winning, no need to send reinforcements.
Also that.
I had considered that approach, but I feel like that would give him time to build up. Also, hold on just a second. I'll be back in a minute.
Okay.
We kind of want to.
We want them to build up as many reinforcements in one place as possible. We can.
We're winning, but we took heavy. We're winning, but we took heavy casualties. Send all of the reinforcements on one in one group,
in one
preferably
flotilla.
clustered together as close as possible.
Oh, by the way, did Celea ever answer John's letter?
Chun's get well soon letter.
Yep.
And Card's get well soon letter. And Sabina's get well soon letter.
Chun and Sabina would have received a thank you and a what is the appropriate response in such situations?
Thank you. I'm convalescing well.
Okay, sorry, I needed to do that then. Anyway,
thank you, but I can't possibly be any better.
Okay, so what were we discussing?
I'm the best.
What, is she already back in the capital with her daughter?
No, she just claims she's the best, therefore she can't get better.
I'm gonna
yeah, let's do one more round of what people are doing. May, did you move to meet Aethys
Yes,
halfway.
I would have moved to intercept Aethys to grab that. Yes.
Yes. With your help, Aethys can make the delivery.
Brilliant. I will put the bomb safely somewhere I can retrieve it in Autopia, and store it that way. Thank you. It does cross my mind that if Aethys is willing and interested, he may, in fact, likely would be a valuable asset in whatever upcoming deception. Specifically, it takes the form of with Archanglia.
Well, that's up to Aethys.
Yes. Whatever.
Sorry, what's up, Tatha?
Whether you want to join
it crosses,
May and her shenanigans.
saying it crosses
have
my
I met
mind
there?
that yes, you passed me the snow globe and detonator, and
Oh, cool.
I'm saying it crosses my mind that your skills will quite likely be of great use in the upcoming matters with Archanglia.
Ah, we will make our fathers proud. Yes, let's do this.
Brilliant.
What a great thing to happen to Aethys specifically. Now he has an excuse because he doesn't like his step. No. Now he has an excuse because he doesn't like his stepmother. He was just before for no reason.
How awful.
Chun, your army came across Forva, and flying allied banners, at least according to their knowledge, is welcomed in by the very small force that was left behind.
Okay. Should we just kill them?
Yeah, get
I mean,
march the army into the
We
fort
would
for
have
the
to.
night and kill them. The voices in your head are speaking now.
We probably would have discussed that beforehand. So if that's
the voices in her
discussion-
head are just the absolute.
well,
And
in
the
that case,
Does the absolute say kill them all? Let me sort them out.
They're not going to Hagen heaven.
they are not
He doesn't want
ancestors.
them. Yeah, they're not ancestors.
Yeah. Another matter that comes to mind. What's happened to Sarek and all this?
Well, let's see. He would have he probably died because I think he joined up with the main army after they met with Car.
He wouldn't still have been watching Car, basically.
His job was watch Car until the war kicked off, and the war kicked off, and he met with the Archanglian army, of which he had plenty of reasons to want to join.
Oh, that could potentially have been a interesting loose end if you had been with Car during some of that.
Or if you
No,
were
it's fine,
staying
he's
at the home
permanent.
country.
Nope. He
yes.
he was with your army. He was with your army up until the point you met with the Archanglian army, like 4 sessions ago.
Okay. So yes,
More
as
like
far as we're concerned, then he likely died somewhere.
I mean, there's a good chance he survived. He is a named character, but if he had, he's not.
Well,
He's
he
not in
might
a
be
position to.
here or here.
And
He's
if he
definitely
had, there's a
not
good
captured
chance.
or wasn't present of Car.
And there's a good chance if Aethys meets him in a dark alleyway, only one of them will walk out of it.
Yes, it's going to be.
Yeah, but that's a good chance for any.
gonna
That's a
be-
good chance for
it's-
any living being.
It's going to be Sarek walking out of the alleyway, but his body will remain in the
He's
air.
also
really.
inside, yeah. Yeah.
All right. So you just sort of slaughter them while they're all asleep?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we'll take the first watch.
Not
Don't
even a-
worry.
Not even a fight. Not even a fight.
A fight is coming. Hopefully.
The Chinese are incredibly adept at being absolute backstabbing arsewipes.
Very true. Very true.
I'm sorry. It was
You
not Shan's
fucking
idea to
should be.
backstab. It's Sabina's idea. Or more, rather, it's
But, yeah, it's Sabina's idea. You guys are still doing it. Not fighting
So,
like men.
what to do? I'm not even gonna have to roll for this because they don't really get a defense against the sheer amount of numbers you have and the fact that you're ambushing them, essentially. So 4 of us taken. I'd say without a fight, but it was more like a struggle snuggle.
So yeah, should the Hagen army move after there after that, or are we going to move together there?
The suggestion would be the Hagian army should march on Pertel and see if they can do it again. On the off chance that any defenses are rebuilt, they get some birdies.
Okay.
All right. So the army
That's my turn.
splits. The army that's with Sabina moves forward. Move forward. I imagine May is still doing her eel scheming, but now is it with or without Aethith?
I believe Aethith decided to accompany.
All right.
So
The two of you are up
Yeah.
to mischief.
the first Archanglia would have heard of the betrayal explicitly would have come from May. That is for sure. That is.
Is she going to be telling them soon about the betrayal, or?
To cement her position as being on their side, they would have to hear about that from her.
Is that worth
As early-
the giving them a warning?
Yeah, because we can
yes.
we can take pretty much everything, but their depending on how good their information network.
It
we
will
can
take them-
everything up to Felmus.
It will take them a
before,
number of days to get reinforcements from the mainland. Probably at least a week, likely more. And in that time, I will
Like,
use
the longer
the
it takes them
position.
to figure that out, it's a good idea, though. Like, the more time they have figuring
but-
it out, the more time we can sweep, what's left on the continent and
Yeah.
then and reinforce.
And if they decide that somehow
Yes.
your city for Boomtown is the safest landing port, you can still do your thing there.
The thing is, on the continent, there isn't too much presence except for this city, right? They had minimal garrisons at these forts. They didn't expect
Well,
people to be turning
there's
them.
there's next to nothing in here, but I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Felmus is full garrisoned.
Felmus has Felmus is full garrisoned and usually their preferred landing spot.
Yeah, so if we can just sneakily take out all these 3 cities, and then while we're appearing on Felmus, they have all their stuff in one place, we can fucking blizzard them and get it over with.
As long as that can be done in a way that makes it look like May was in the dark to that happening beforehand, but it likely should be one of the first words that they hear from May to build up that trust. Because what I'd like to do, ultimate goal, is show them the weapons, convince them that with the the munitions that Papa can supply them with, that they will be able to sail their entire, like a massive flotilla, up to Poso, nuke Poso, take Poso directly, and then advance from that head with a unexpected and decisive blow to begin the offensive there. And from Poso, they'll have access to travel gates, which will further aid in taking the continent. Then somewhere while they have that flotilla traveling onto Poso, or potentially Anzanova,
Anzanova.
if they are more favorable to that idea, detonate the snow globe on them, destroying their fleet.
I know.
They're unlikely to try and take. They're unlikely to try and take Poso because even
naval
with
invasion is retarded.
well, they're passing like several other cities on the coast that are enemies.
Yeah. Well, I'm not the greatest expert in strategy. If they have a target, they'd rather hit. Be that as it may, I figured that hitting
would say
Poso with a decisive strike would be.
They would likely prefer to keep as much of the land as they've taken so far.
Great way to begin that off, but
yeah,
basically,
I,
I
would say,
want to entice
if
them with.
if you're gonna entice them on reinforcing land that they've taken, say Targo's been emptied out, they're probably somewhat garrisoned in there. No, actually, no. Targo was decided to be Willen territory. Well, they say, okay, you're landing all your troops in Falmouth. Let me pass off these new great weapons that you can use against the compact.
Here's the thing: the naval invasion would ordinarily be retarded unless you can drop the snow globe on Poso or something first, and in that case, the city is rubble that you can easily plant a flag upon.
Okay,
But
sure.
you don't
But
have
what do
a
you
harbor.
do from there?
Yeah,
You nuke your own harbor. What do you do from there? You'd have to take the time to rebuild the harbor, during which the enemy can very easily just come up and murder you.
Not to mention the blizzard snow globe in particular makes that particular harbor unlivable for probably a few days. So even if they do destroy Poso, it's not like they can, mount up offensive against the rest of the compact from there.
So do we actually have any of those nukes ready?
Yes.
You do have one snow globe with a timer on it.
So
I'm just thinking, maybe a better idea would be to catch a ride on the bottom of one of their ships and just nuke their capital.
okay,
go all the way to attack them.
You've been to their capital. You're unlikely to actually manage to do much with the snow globe there, because the thing is basically the top of a mountain cut off and hollowed out.
I'm guessing it's also not the densest of areas.
So this isn't quite a nuke.
What you have is something that can delete a city, usually, but you need more than one to delete the really good cities, like the capitals.
Really?
Okay,
what you
well, why
want
don't I
is
go to
to-
one of their Why don't I go to one of their harbors?
Yeah, Falmouth.
Like their main harbor.
Yeah.
Well, you mean the harbors on their land?
Yes.
So what we need is to
how
destroy
long
that
would it
fleet
take
first and foremost.
I don't know.
But
How long would
remember,
it take an undead
Aethif's
to
last
travel the seabed?
Remember though, Aethif's last experience of trying to cross that ocean to land in one of their harbors was that a giant owl demon tried to eat your ship.
Didn't we deal with that thing?
Yes,
Oh,
John ate a bit of it. Or rather,
Yeah, but-
drank a bit of it.
But
Yeah.
okay, but how many demons are there in this world? And why are they particularly focused upon consuming ships? In
I
this,
don't know, man. It feels like at times the demons are just the one piece
Well-
of this.
Anyway,
It's
the
always
reason-
going to be there. They're always
I'm-
going to keep going.
I mean, I'm not opposed to
reason-
deleting Felma Harbor if you think that's a better idea.
The reason I say not to use that to delete like the harbor of the city is I'm thinking it would be a very decisive blow to delete a flotilla with as much of the reinforcements as large of a flotilla as they can get together, and that's why I was thinking of
delete
a
the
type.
harbor
That
if they
if you delete their flotilla, there is a very good chance they can't actually recapture anything on the main continent, because they will need a good chunk of time to rebuild.
So if you can get them to
Ships aren't
dock
quick
their,
to produce.
if you can get them to dock their flotilla in Anzanova, nice.
Then it's
It-
worth it.
Sabina would
It
prefer
would cost
to keep
you.
compact infrastructure.
It would cost you.
but-
If you nuke them when they land in Anzanova, it will cost you the city. If you nuke them out at sea, it'll be a lot less painful for you in terms of
But most
cost.
In which
likely,
case-
they're
case-
going to land in the safest port, which is Felmus, right?
Yeah, wouldn't it make more sense to get them to, to convince them to land in Felma and just blow that up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two birds with one
Because-
stone. We don't have to besiege that city because it's fucking ruins.
it is a rather useful city to have if you're fighting a defensive war against the Arkanglians.
I would say keeping the infrastructure intact is best.
But
yeah,
the
that's why I
well,
was
the problem with considering Felmus part of the infrastructure is all the civilians there are Arkanglian. They have a culture of hating the compact. It's guarded by Arkanglians. They hate the compact, and it's a full garrison. We have to fight it anyway to claim it.
okay. So,
So
But
there-
Sabina,
also
have you
every-
considered? But Sabina, have you considered civilian test subjects?
two points to that.
That's a good point.
A, you also have the flood snow globe, but more importantly, they quite likely don't.
The flood
have any
snow
defense.
globe's unlikely to do something at sea, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes, but to the city, it would be very effective. At sea, it would be a large.
But if we can
Wait,
get
Aren't a bunch of them,
if we
aren't a bunch
but
of
we
them
can get-
basically aren't a bunch of them basically fish?
If you cast essentially instant Antarctic at sea, it would be like giving this entire flotilla of wooden ships the Titanic experience times 10.
It will shred the entire.
The
hotel.
Titanic.
It would rip them into nothing.
And
So
But it will also ruin the area. So if you're not
indeed,
out the
which-
blast radius,
indeed, which is why.
While that's
I
happening,
wanted to say-
while you're deciding
getting
this,
out of the blast
days
radius
pass.
Yep.
Is a particularly easy task for May, as she can just disappear into the shadows.
So yeah, we're getting them to land in Felmus and we nuke Felmus. Makes sense to me.
yeah.
it's a
Yep.
fair trade.
Two
to be
birds,
fair,
one
losing
stone.
one port for their entire flotilla.
Anyway, I might
We
as
nuke
well
the-
head out. You can deal with maneuvering to get them to land in Felmus. I'll head out.
All right, so you'll do your own thing there, but I'm still. My goal is to nuke them at sea, to not destroy the city. You can birdie the city. They won't have defenses against that in all likelihood.
Just nuke
Why
it with
why
boats.
can't
And
we
I,
why can't we
I'm
nuke
heading out
both
with
of
the
them at
snow globe.
once?
I'm heading out with the snow globe to Felmus.
There we go. Yeah.
Yeah, just wait
You-
for the boats, wait for the fleet to dock for repairs and resupply.
Yeah.
They'll have to, because
It
they're
is-
wooden.
It's not even repairs and resupply. It's literally them delivering their troops.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that
Yeah.
and they are wooden. They'll need to repair.
That's
It won't
irrelevant.
take
Point is-
long, sure, but
That part's irrelevant. They're just as long as they're there, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, as long as you're there and you fucking nuke the place, they'll be
Just
gone.
when they're there,
They will
don't
no.
wait
They will
for
no
them to
longer be
do
there.
anything.
So
Do
yep,
it when they're there. Take care of both.
yeah, that's the plan. I think
Yep,
everyone
that's what
but Ang is
Kovacs
on
said,
board with
yeah.
this plan.
Yeah.
I think Egg just wants to get more out of this by keeping the infrastructure, which is not a bad idea, but
Understandable, but
it's sane. But where are we gonna have their fleet that's just sitting out in the waters that we can intercept?
I can fly.
it would be a difficult maneuver, but not impossible with the tools you have.
It's not impossible, but it's more guaranteed that we can hit them in Felmus, and we only use one super weapon.
If I fail to intercept them over the water,
Then you
and arrange
lose another piece of infrastructure that's actually part of compact land.
There's also the problem: fleets do not move close together. They always keep rather large distance between them to avoid collisions due to waves or storms.
That would be less of a factor in the Age of Sail.
Yeah, but still, in the harbor, they would still be stuck extremely close together, comparatively.
Yeah, they'll be much closer at port. Yeah.
just hitting the harbor makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Right. Are we done now?
Do we want to stop here and do the plans next time?
Okay, well, I'm off to sleep.
I'm okay either way.
Well, I
prefer
think
to keep
Invader's
going, but-
checked out. But if Invader doesn't mind this happening without him, I can keep going.
Regardless, I'm gonna use the bathroom. Be right back.
I
Probably.
didn't
I
do
can
that.
take care of the stuff with George, like, I guess, different time or whatever.
Yeah,
it's not
sure.
like that
It's not like George is currently. Well, he is working on stuff. It's just not being covered right now
Yeah.
because army
George is
important.
preparing for the next war already. Alright, good night.
Same.
It's
See ya.
been fun. I'm just really tired.
Yeah, that's fair. Oh, lag spike. Well,
Does the gambit work on Pertel as well?
Chun, give me a speech check to convince them that you are in fact friendly and that it is definitely not weird that your army is this far back.
Let's see. -1, yeah. -1.
Yeah.
Unless the one they're talking to is sexually attracted to women.
No, do the -1.
Right. The type, you asshole.
All right, you can convince them of this.
Neat.
Something about the mountain pass being close by and you making your way back to Willen, but wanting to rest for a bit.
As Hagians, that makes sense. Yep. Nothing suspicious here.
And they can't tell one human apart from another, really.
Fucking racist. Just because every Hagian looks alike.
Yeah, it doesn't mean they look like Willanders. But you sneak in, and because you've succeeded, and they kept a minimal force here, once again during the night, you can eliminate. You can proceed.
The humans all left, right?
What?
The humans in the city, they all left, right?
Yeah, they
Yes, they all
evacuated
left.
to Netrano.
They evacuated the greener pastures, literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
Half the army would move forward on Ponta Fignia. We're not gonna move in the full force. You don't have to split it off, but just for appearance sakes. Like a good deal of the army. We just don't want to look like we're marching the full force on this place.
There you
But,
go. 28.
Sabina will be in charge of this army. Well, Carr takes the rear.
In that case, they'd be here, just so they're not obviously visible.
Yep, and she'd take the army under the guise that she heard that the Republic was moving forces this way and has taken this force to reinforce.
We haven't heard anything about the Republic,
Sweetie.
but I suppose if you want to pass through, it's not an issue. After all, you're hold on, are you wearing the mask while you're doing this?
Yes, she's wearing the mask. She took injury.
After all, you're a completely normal and trustworthy beast person.
Completely normal and trustworthy. Oh, and it's a golden mask, by the way, because she upgraded in the city.
Shopping trip.
Yeah,
That's where Danielle took you.
yeah, she had to get something for herself.
Anyways, because you're such a completely normal beast person, you're allowed in.
Okay. She has her army ostentatiously camping out for the night, sussing out their forces, and then taking care of them.
You know, give me a D10.
Just a D10.
Yeah, just a D10. I'm rolling this. Yeah, you don't fucking lose any men.
Even with that.
Not even with a 1, you don't lose any fucking men.
It was like a scene in Looney Tunes where they're stepping on rakes, they're stepping on honking horns, and they're fucking fast asleep.
In any case, you wipe the fort out before anyone can get a word out, despite your fucking abysmal roll. Today has been awful for rolls.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is. On both
On
sides.
all sides. The question is, do you want to split the force off? Also, what is the Archanglian army doing? Also, Aethif and May might want to cross that river just because...
Well, Aethif was, like I
Just
said, heading straight out to Falmouth.
well, in that case, I'll say you
See
meet
that?
up with the...
See that Willand is there?
Unless you want to take another city by yourself.
Well, he was going to head off ahead of them because walking with the
Yeah.
army was going to be a bad idea.
Well, not... Yeah, but I'm talking about Anzanova.
I'm pretty certain
Because they don't have that many people.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah, they don't
he
have
can
that
slaughter
many
all of
people.
them single-handedly.
The only question is whether they get word out.
Well, the idea is he's beelining it for Falmouth to be ready for
Okay,
whenever their fleet arrives.
I imagine May is coming with you for this.
That is up to her.
Well,
That is
was
up to
my
her.
plan, and my plan doesn't
Is
work
it-
if I don't get the snow globe, so I don't have anything to do.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
thought you had. I thought you were still able to mess with them, like with communications and information and shit. Besides, I thought I was relying on you to get them to make sure they land at Falmouth as opposed to Anzanova. That way we get to keep Anzanova, or you do, or whatever.
Yeah, just travel with Aethif, bringing offers to the garrison at Falmouth. Smiling merchant style.
up to Egg how he wants to handle this.
Be a true merchant. Sell them their own destruction.
That was my plan.
I'll be right back.
So?
Who are we waiting on to speak here?
I'm not sure. Someone's gotta.
No, I'm.
Maybe we
Sweetness
should just
Army
continue
can-
next week.
We could just stop it here, continue next week.
Because it sounds like Egg
See the
is
plan come
running
to
out of
fruition.
gas.
Well, it sounds
Yes.
like we need to rework some stuff. So yeah. Anyway,
Alright. Well, we'll call it here then. Decent progress has been made, both militarily and politically.
We could have had the war done over in a day if brain fuel apparently didn't just depart from Egg.
I mean, didn't the war start like weeks ago? Oh, you mean the second
We-
war now? Okay, now you're agreeing
we-
it's 2 wars. Okay.
It's
fine.
it's the same war.
We've had 10 sessions that has just been this war. And
It's the
has been
same
fastest,
war.
And this has been the fastest that we've gone through this war's turns.
To be fair, you're basically moving through empty land.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, the land we were going through on the first few sessions was empty as well. We were just dealing with garrisons. Anyway, stopping streaming. Good night, folks. We'll see you next week, and maybe the second war will conclude then.